Boom. Boom. Boom.
Hello and welcome back to the Pop Tab Podcast, the podcast that's as sweet as soda for breakfast. I am one of your hosts, Brent Kruscke, the upholder of the unpopular opinion, and joining me today, as always, is the ghost host, Jacob Stokes.
I had a 5 a.m. Pepsi Zero today.
And boo.
Yeah, that's your jump scare is I literally had soda for pre-breakfast breakfast.
That's awesome. As we usually do, we start with a little bit of housekeeping. We go over what's happening in the stream for the rest of the week, which is interesting because it is a holiday week, so the schedule's kind of all over the place. So we're going to try our best. And then also we talk about what we're watching and all that stuff.
You're talking going forward. I was like,
Going
what do you
forward.
mean it's Tuesday at noon? Like, we're right on time.
Now we're on
Yes,
time.
next Tuesday,
Obviously,
we're looking clear.
Usually next stream is Thursday. Not going to happen.
Turkey Day.
Turkey Day. I'm going to be busy. Friday, though, I'm going to try to convince Alec to play, TCG Shop Simulator with me for a Black Friday celebration.
Because of Black Friday, yeah.
So that would be fun. I don't know if he's going to play it and I'm going to watch, or I'm going to play it and he's going to watch. I think he's all set up to stream, but he just redid his entire basement, so I don't know if he reset that up. So I got to double check with him and things. But I want to do that because that would be really fun. And then Saturday, I think is going to be probably later in the day, Sea of Thieves. Because in the morning, me and Bethany are going to go see Moana 2. Very excited. And then Sunday, no stream. I'm going to be working on the day job stuff. So pretty much Friday, Saturday are 2 days this week just because of holidays and other commitments.
Which
But hopefully
we
they're
have
good.
many.
Yes, we have many. So that's the stream, and then we'll get into what we watch. Now, there's big ones we watched, which will probably be the whole conversation. So I've got a couple small ones I'll get into before we get into the big ones.
I probably got a rinky dink or two.
Yeah, let's pull out the rinky dinks.
That might not be true.
The
actually.
shrinky dinks. Remember those? Those in the oven?
Oh, do I remember Shrinky Dinks?
What
Yeah.
a weird thing they are.
Okay, I watched 2 total movies.
So I watched Gladiator to prep for Gladiator 2, and I watched the extended edition, which if you're interested and you want to watch it, I think it's $8 right now on like Apple TV, like just to buy streaming, so you can watch it
to
before.
own?
I was
Okay.
waiting for it to be like,
It's on Paramount?
I feel like
Possibly.
possibly.
I remember you saying you saw it and you're like, okay, I don't have it.
It might be. I saw that it
Anyway.
was $8 and I got it because I was like, I was really expecting to be a Gladiator 2's coming out. This movie's now $22 because they want you to spend because everyone wants to watch it. You know?
Do you shop on Apple TV much?
Yeah, usually.
I was like, because they're always the opposite.
That's so crazy.
It's always like, hey, get ready for this one.
Here's a cheap movie.
Here's a cheap one.
Well, it's
And they like right now also because of the holidays, they have a whole section that's just $4 movies, $5 movies, $6 movies, and they're bangers, dude.
I might have to go check it out then.
It's fire. It's a fire sale right now. And check formerly Vudu, now Fandango at Home or whatever. They also run really good sales. And if it has Movies Anywhere, you buy it there, it shows up on Apple TV. So
Sweet.
because I don't like mixing purchases like that. Like I like keeping it Apple TV. That way, in case Movies Anywhere were to dissolve, I just have the ones I purposefully bought.
Right.
But like Hokey, for instance, he really likes buying on
Gotcha.
Vudu, and it pays off for all of us.
I think I've transitioned because before I used to get them all on Prime because I'm like Amazon's not getting taken down, so I have a bunch of Prime movies. And then I was like, oh,
Amazon as a company is
as a
not
company,
getting taken
yeah.
down yet. Turns
And
out they're the first to pull all
I know.
licenses.
And then it was Movies Anywhere because I was like, oh, I would like to just have like a whole collection. This is a thing specifically for Movies Anywhere. And then it was Apple. So I got movies all over the place. I have to check 3 different spots. Like, where did I buy this movie? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I do like just having a movie, especially like Gladiator, which I've already seen 50
Sure.
to 100 times.
Yeah.
But I wanted to rewatch for the second one where I'm like, I'm going to want to rewatch this again. And even at the end, the movie ends, and Bethany has seen it before, but it's been a long time where she couldn't even remember if she's seen all of it. And she got done with it. She's like, that's just like a really pretty movie. And I was like, yeah, I mean, some of the backgrounds and like the green screen stuff doesn't hold up 100% as if it was made today, but just the rolling sky and him walking through the afterlife and all the different, I was like, it is just really pretty at moments. And I sometimes forget that because I'm always obsessed with the let's hack and slash and all that stuff with it.
Well, I think about the movies that are going back to old cinema sets in the 20s, 30s, the old Paramount Studios kind of thing. And I always picture when they did with Elizabeth Taylor, Cleopatra, I think it was. It was the most expensive movie at the time or whatever, and they like made like a whole fake Egypt that was like exuberant and over the top and everything. That's what I think of when I think old Hollywood. So when I see the Colosseum and the fight, I think Ben-Hur. I think of all of those things, and I'm like, something about this feels so much more classic movie to me than, you know, like Days of Heaven, like we talked about Terrence Malick last week. That is classic cinema, but I'm like, I don't know, man.
It just doesn't
Give me
feel
a
the same.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
There's something special about that theme.
There's a shot where it's essentially when they first get to Rome and it flies over Rome and you see the people milling the city, and then you go over the Colosseum. There's stuff in the Colosseum, people milling about, and I went, holy fuck, this is 1999. That shot's still holds up and is crazy impressive for 1999. Like, this is pre Lord of the Rings. This is pre like crowd anything. I was like, damn, they really pulled that off.
And we'll talk about it going forward, but there's, you know what I'm saying about, there's something in today's CG that just feels more noticeable. There's something different about it that I'm like, it almost looks like people are using the same CG tech, or they're all funneling to the same major companies because they all have the same like visual language. And it's just like, it almost lumps them together with, oh, this is a movie with a ton of CG, or any, depending on the visual. But
I'm wondering if it's also like,
is it a color grading choice that is just of today, and also of today's movies are CG? Like, they could be separate, but there's something that I can just, it feels different.
I'm also wondering, like, you know, in 98, 99, all that stuff, they're like, we need this shot, and so we need that Hollywood magic to make it happen. It's CG, it's in a computer, but no one knows that yet. So we need to make it look as like, we need to do it in a way that's pulled back, done in a way where you don't notice it right away, because it's going to take people out of it. Now it's like, well, everyone has just accepted. Everyone knows the term CGI. Everyone knows these effects. We'll just throw them in their face. It doesn't matter. Like, they know that we can't have someone fly, so let's just throw a CG character on screen. And so then it's just like, we all just have now grown accustomed to this kind of gummy look that usually happens when something like that happens, because they're like, it's in the nomenclature. We all know it. Episode 1 came out and everyone's done with not hiding the CG of stuff. And I feel like that might be a little bit, but I think it also is just time, and almost like you shoot a movie this way because this is how you tell the story. This is how CGI looks because it's how people are able to recognize and tell the story.
But then also, you know, Barbie didn't do that.
Yeah.
Barbie had that level of CG depending on what movie we're comparing to. Or I think like RRR.
Yeah.
Like, that movie had a ton of CG, but it was just different.
It's different.
There's a visual difference. I'm thinking even if it's just the face render on the dancers or whatever, you know, but I don't know. It feels less in your face still. Like, it still feels like some movies, even big movies, big Hollywood American movies, make the choice to hide it better.
So there's Corridor Digital just did a video on Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. And they specifically talking about the shot where what's-her-face puts her hand through the face. Yeah. And it's funny because it's like the whole time she has her hand in there and like doing all this stuff, the whole head and everything is essentially CG. It's all fake. Yeah. But it doesn't look like it is. It looks like they had an actor sit there and then they put like CG fingers over his face, but it's all CG. And then the next shot, he's getting dragged and it goes back to that like, oh, this is a CG body, almost like a bouncy, gummy kind of thing. But it's like weird that the two shots are next to each other. And one's like, I can't tell it's CG. And the other one's like, oh, this is the CG dialogue we know. Yeah. It's very weird.
But is it, you know, this effect, we want it to look real. It's going to take a long time. So we're going to have Team A, Team B, or Team 1 and Team 2, Alpha, Omega, whatever you want to say. Yeah. So it's just like one team. They're just getting different artist notes. Yeah. You know?
And then the next shot was Team D. They just needed to get it done because they needed the shot between 1 and 3.
Well, when you look and there's all the different visual effects companies, you know what I mean? I think like to compare to like video games are clearly all animated, but they all have the same language, or like actual animation films, you know, but they're all one team and the assets are global and anyone can grab it for any reason, you know? So maybe there's something just because of the multi-team that they're like, we need a universal language. So people are just like, I'll default to this.
Yeah, yeah.
And that could be the case.
That could be.
I don't know.
But anyway,
that's not my world. That's not the thing I actually really care about all that much. I don't want to learn as much as I could.
I like learning it, and I like seeing the people that know it talk to me about it, specifically like Corridor Digital and all that stuff. I don't think I could ever do it, no matter how much time you put me in front of a computer and do it.
Well, it's a different type. It's a different type of artist.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to use the word true artist.
Yeah.
But it's like the free form, empty, blank canvas people that I'm like, I can't blank canvas anything.
Yeah.
I paralyze. I can't do it in Minecraft. I can't build a fucking house in Minecraft, or it'll just be a cube.
Yeah. There's different styles of artistry, and that one is very like, oh, you see the way this gem on the end of this little tassel bounces on the wallet of the guy's hip, and you're like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I didn't care about that. But I'm like, yeah somebody did.
It makes it look real,
Yeah, 100%. Another one they recently got into was the Warcraft movie, and they were talking about like every different orc, if they're in the background in the foreground, each orc's very different. They're wearing different things. All the stuff that are on them are doing different things. So it's like
Taco Tuesday.
Very
holy.
cool. Hey, holy Taco Tuesday.
I had a burrito for breakfast too. It was the first piece of food I ate, but it was 6 hours separate from when I woke up and had my first soda.
So soda was your breakfast.
Pepsi Zero.
This is your brunch.
This is
burrito.
Second breakfast.
Second breakfast. There you go. Perfect time for dinner break and lurking and listening and eating.
You know
Perfect.
what? I got in here. I was eating it. It was 11.
That's 11sies.
I was eating 11sies. I skipped second breakfast.
Oh, no.
Went straight to 11sies.
No wonder you had to get that burrito. You're probably pretty hungry.
I know. I was hungry.
So, yeah, Gladiator, amazing movie. Love that movie. Have always loved that movie. It's still worth watching now. And then skipping 2 movies, because those are the big ones we'll talk about. I also watched, I think you brought it up before, Ricky Stenicki.
I saw it on your letterbox.
I watched Ricky Stenicki. What a fun movie. Just a...
You know, I forgot who it was that said it might have been Code. It might have been Hokey, who was like, "Nah, dude, it's too stupid. I had to shut it off." And I was like, "Dude, you made it through Hubie Halloween, dude. Like, what are we talking about here? It was, what are we measuring up to?"
I think
I might also be throwing him under the bus. That might not be true. I just think it was him.
I mean, Ricky Stenicki. If it doesn't have John Cena, it doesn't have Zac Efron, it doesn't have the cast that it has. I don't think I could watch that movie.
No,
but it's the cast makes it, which I'm that's a lot of movies.
Should it win anything?
No. But it was a fine movie, fun put on.
I had a blast.
Yep.
I had a blast.
Same feeling with Jackpot, with the other one with John Cena and.
Yes, you talked about. I haven't seen this.
Oh my God, what's her? I'm blanking on her name.
Awkwafina.
Awkwafina, thank you. Oh my gosh, she.
I gave you a little bit of time.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like. I just thought, I was like, it's the dragon from Raya. I couldn't think
Raya
of
dragon.
But anyway, that was another one. Dumb, fun comedy. Exactly what you think it is. It was just fun to put on and kind of like just turn off the mind, chill and enjoy. Nothing crazy. It's not going to win anything. It's not going to change anybody's career. But I think it was fun for them to make. My favorite part, they had the credits, bloopers in the credits. Yes. Yeah. Bring it back. Let's do more of them.
It is always great.
I love it. And it looked like they were just having fun making the movie, especially because a lot of the bloopers were, here's 8 different takes that they didn't use for this one joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great. I love hearing all these jokes because they're all funny, but the one in the movie totally works. Great. Perfect. Yeah. So those 2 movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many? Because that's the low to mid budget comedy that is just, people always talk about how gone they are.
Yep.
But this
is
it. This is what people ask for.
Sometimes you just got to go find them, but they're definitely worth a watch.
Everything William H. Macy, dude, he was fantastic. I also just loved having his role in this character. It was fun.
He was an air dicker. He's an air dicker.
He's an air dicker. And it just, John Cena always having the right answer was great.
Yep. So totally fun time. Both those movies are definitely worth to watch if you just want to sit down and have a fun comedy, especially if you want to maybe get a little high or just you got dinner on the table and you want to do a little something. Both movies are a great time.
That's funny.
So we get to the big movies of the weekend. I saw essentially both big movies of the weekend back to back. You picked up one of them, and I think you're scheduled to see the other one this week at some point.
Yes. Well, Shay actually wants to go tonight.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you still have not seen the first one? She's like, I'll watch a recap. And I'm like, you know what? If we just keep pushing it off, I might not get to see it. And if I do, it might not be IMAX. We might just do a recap. Just because you emphasize the importance. But if she doesn't like this one, you tell me. If she doesn't like this, would she like the first one? Is there a chance that it's like, or are they of the same ilk enough that is like, you can't like one and hate the other?
They're very much of the same ilk. I think Ridley Scott in his I'm doing historical fiction, heavy emphasis on the fiction part of that. I think he does take more liberties in this and does more off the wall kind of thinking with it than the first one, probably because of the time and the place and names and all that. But very much the same feel, same style, same. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy comes from nothing. He gets the people around him.
Have you heard the academics of the first Gladiator defined what they call the male weepy?
The male weepy? No.
Yeah, well, because have you heard the term weepy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that there's like a different, almost a subgenre that's like, there's particular thematic elements that tie to a male weepy versus
Gotcha.
a general or a
I think the first Gladiator,
more the male weepy.
It's got more impact with what happens.
The other one they highlight is things like Rocky.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, it's a buy your bootstraps from nothing. And then there's always this sort of Band of Brothers thing that ends up happening. And I don't mean the show, but I mean the term.
Rocky 1, Rocky 2, very much Gladiator 1, Gladiator 2. Rocky 1, it's got a happy ending, but it's not all happy. The second one is a happy ending. That's Gladiator 1 and 2. It's like, Gladiator 1's got a happy ending. It's not all happy. Gladiator 2's got a happy ending. So
nice.
It's that's almost a very good comparison if you want to think of it like that. So
cool. So it does fit the male weepy trope.
It does 100%.
So who dies in the third one? That's gonna.
Oh shoot. I won't get into it.
Yeah, of course. I was like,
I gotta pause. Okay.
Don't say it.
But I think the biggest thing will just be if you watch the recap, try to just make sure you know the names. They do a pretty good job of eventually getting around to making sure you know what all the names are and who all the people are. Mm-hmm. But for the first big chunk of it, they just start throwing names and things that you should know. And I'm like, cool, I know that. Cool, I know that. And I went, oh my God, I'm glad I know this because this makes more sense where I'm at right now.
Sure.
And after watching the extended edition and seeing the second one, there's things that they confirm in the second one, which I think aren't really alluded to in the normal cut of the first movie, but are in the extended. But I don't think it's that important.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
you'll get it in the second one. But
sure.
Second one is definitely worth a watch. I really, really liked it. Thought it was good. All the fighting was good, but it is very much like in my head, I think of Gladiator, I think of the fight scenes. But a majority of that movie isn't the fighting, isn't in the Coliseum. It's the political drama behind the scenes of trying to get Rome behind somebody or yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
Same thing with this one. The fight scenes are really well done. They're really good, but they are a smaller part of the political drama around everything. Everybody that's like advertised, the actors play all the parts I thought they played, obviously, but
the
some were bigger,
and
some were smaller than I thought they were going to be. Yeah. So, and they shifted. So, but it was definitely a really good watch. Really liked it. Definitely say go see it if you can. If you can check it on IMAX, I think it's a movie that's got that scale that's worth it.
That's partially why I'm pushing for the timing. Yeah. In a perfect world, though, if I could go to a movie tonight, I'd rather go see Heretic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I would like to watch the first Gladiator before I watch the second one. So I'm like, we could recap it and just go, but I mean, I don't know. I should look forward in our AMC schedule to see if Thursday. Well, no, I guess it's tomorrow. Moana's tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow, yeah. Wednesday is Moana.
So if Moana is like it takes all the time slots and all of a sudden Gladiator is gone, I don't have a choice.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, I think Gladiator will hold more spots in IMAX because it's already kind of knocked Wicked down to limited number. But now with the box office of last weekend, that might flip because I think they both did good, but I think Wicked did way better.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So
that makes good sense, especially considering the people that were in my theater and the turnout that I had.
Oh yeah.
And the types of I don't say the types of people because it's not like I could just like point them out or something.
Yeah.
Like a horror movie crowd or something. You could probably pick them out.
Mm-hmm.
Or when they like re-release Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm like, I know that you're coming here for that movie. I don't need to see anything else about you. But our AMC, I don't know if you saw it, but they had a section for merch.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Wicked got the merch out?
Well, it had a bunch of old merch too. But then
for
also
like random things. Well, you know, it's funny. So I'm in line and it's so busy I didn't see forward. I swear to God I'm in line and I tell Shay, I'm like, it's crazy because they've got all these buckets and things, but like, what if someone wants like a blanket or a T-shirt or a plushie or because I'm looking at the popcorn bag and stuff, and we get up there, I'm like, I just manifested a cart into existence. I was like, Shay, look, those T-shirts over there.
There's T-shirts, there's blankets, there's purses, hats, pop figures, a bunch of stuff.
A lot of people got to our movie late. It took me about 30 minutes to get through the line. through the fancy express pass because everybody wanted, I want this bucket and this thing and that ornament and this little charm and that whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They all had to run to the back for it, and it was just so slow.
Yeah. There's been very few times recently, because movies aren't as big as I feel like they were when I worked at a theater, where I'm like, I could have done this release, I could have done this opening, I wouldn't have dreaded it, yada, yada. Wicked this weekend, I would have been like, I would have hated working the theater this weekend. It's not to the level of like Twilight or Harry Potter when those things were huge, but there's just more stuff now. There's more, like, those tickets, we just had more people.
Nosferatu is getting a popcorn bucket.
It's crazy.
Did you see this?
Is it the coffin?
Yeah, the sarcophagus.
Sorry.
Yes. That's just how they pitched it.
Yeah.
It's at Regal, so we're not getting one. But
Right.
I'm just like, why the fuck is this movie getting a...
It's
Also, for the first time, because they released the posters. Did you see the poster?
the poster.
Dude.
I don't think so.
There's
I have been getting a lot of ads for it, but I've also just been kind of scrolling by it. Because, God, what did we... I saw something recently. I was like, are we seeing this on Christmas? And I was like, what other came out on Christmas? Like, oh, Nosferatu. But there was a different movie I think me and Bethany were talking about seeing on Christmas. We saw the trailer for it. Can't remember.
they just released them today, so I'm not finding them on images right now. But the ones that they released are very, very cool looking. But on the poster and on the release and everything, this is the movie is from Focus. It's not from A24.
Weird.
Which they did The Northman, The Lighthouse,
Yeah.
The Witch.
I thought I
So I was
saw...
like, oh, for sure I would have thought, but it's
For
just
some reason, I
not-
thought I saw A24 advertising Nosferatu on Instagram, where I usually see a lot of A24 stuff gets announced or whatever.
Yeah.
But I must have also just mentally put it there. I think it's a rights thing.
Okay, Letterboxd put them out. So there's the IMAX one.
Uh-huh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Experience the terror. But this one's really cool. How there's like a black skull in the middle.
Oh,
That's like pretty subtle.
very
It
subtle,
says,
yeah.
Succumb to darkness. I'm like, fuck, that's cool. I will for you, Robert Eggers. I'll succumb, I swear.
That's so funny.
See it in 35 millimeter. That's the poster that this one is. But yeah, all over here, it just, the new posters for this in theaters on Christmas via Focus Features is what I saw. And I was like,
Weird.
Yo, who? And then I looked all over everything. I couldn't find A24 anywhere.
Huh. That's see it in 35. That's like every movie theater's like, God damn it. Yeah, we still have one projector that does it or two. Let's
Not
figure
ours.
out the dude that can put it together.
Like, those are the projectionists that are going to do that for the rest of their life in LA at the Chinese theater, or whatever few spots that actually have 35 millimeter.
I mean, NCG, like in Lansing, has two projectors that can do
do they
35.
still?
I mean,
They switched owners since you had it, so they might have fucked off of it. But
maybe, but
I mean,
it might have cost
there
more
was-
to get rid of those than just leave them there, because it has a digital projector, and you just switch which one is
sure.
There's like a little thing you just shift. It's like almost on rollers. You just shift back and forth.
Sure.
But then the big, plates, the roller things are there, and then you put the film on it. So to get those out of where they're at in projection, it might have just been more of a hassle. It might have been, we'll just leave it. And then every
maybe.
once in a while, because I think when I worked there for 4 years, and we had, besides special screenings, we had a lot of Bollywood like special screenings come through, but like
sure.
actual movies. I couldn't think of two. I think the second Boondock Saints had a 35 print that we did.
Okay.
And I think actually the Ryan Reynolds Buried, I think was another one that had a 35 print come through.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that one came to theaters.
I think that was it. I might be wrong. There might be another one I'm forgetting,
if you
but
told
it
me
was very few.
straight to disc, I guess,
Oh.
straight to tape.
No, it was
Straight
definitely
to
in theaters.
Straight to video. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for. Like, it wasn't straight to streaming.
Same
But
thing with Boondock
I
Saints
watched
too,
it.
right?
I only learned about it. Oh, dude, 100% same
All
thing.
Saints
I learned
Day?
about those
Yeah.
movies. No, All Saints Day was in theaters for me too. Like I'm aware of that one.
Oh,
here,
okay.
But the Buried, I didn't know about. Well, I know because when they did the special 35 millimeter screening of 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Mm-hmm.
there was only one theater in Michigan that played it.
No.
So I was just like, oh, there must only be the one.
Now, to be fair, the people that worked there when I worked there that could run those, they might not have. Yeah, they might not be there anymore.
Yeah,
so
true.
there might not be someone that could run the projector, but the projector's probably still there.
Dude, I'm making up jobs in my mind now, but like working at a video store, being a projectionist, dream shit.
Yeah.
Those are like dream professions. They can't exist anymore, or at least unless you're the one guy who works at the Chinese theater. You know?
Yeah. Projectionist was like a great job. And then as it slowly started transitioning, we had to do less and less. It became, you did this on top of a manager. And it's like, well, now it's just extra. I don't get to do this.
No one sits and watches.
Here's the headache
yeah.
plus my actual job I've got to go do.
Yeah.
So that was the annoying
and
part.
I think video store would have just been better anyway for the type of management I clearly like to do with all the card shit.
Organization,
just organizing stickers,
talking to people like, oh, what are you looking for? What do you want?
Here's literally, I think a video
What'd
store
you think about
it,
that? Yeah. But anyway, went and saw Wicked. We kind of started talking about Wicked. Now we'll bounce back. Saw Wicked. I have seen the musical on stage one time. My wife has seen it 3 times on stage. She loves it. I was a fan of it, liked the music. I got done with the movie and I was just like, so what did you think? I really hope she liked it. And she just looks at me and just starts crying. Just crying. I went, oh my gosh. She's like, it's just, they did it. It was so good. I was like, oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was like,
because that could have gone either way.
Because there was multiple times in the movie where she would like hit me or look at me when it was like, when you saw the original actresses pop up on screen. She just grabs me and I did that.
I did a smack on.
I'm like, that's so exciting. That's exciting for you.
My whole theater cheered. I had that type of theater.
Oh,
that was after certain songs they'd fucking,
that was
popular. It was
so
okay,
I
we're all
told,
clapped when the movie started. It was that crowd.
Dude, I told Bethany, I was like, okay, so we're trying to avoid people singing. I put us in row F, which has got the space behind us, one row in front of us, and the space in front of us. Because like, if anyone's singing, we're as far away from people as we could be in this theater right here. So I was like,
F is
the back row of like the 2-row section in IMAX.
Yeah, that's where F13. That's where we sit.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, okay.
yeah. But I was just sometimes we do.
You
H.
said it like it was different.
Sometimes we do H if it's like a bigger crowd, which is the behind the bar on the big section.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got F specifically
my
for this.
family likes J.
Oh, okay.
So I think I got K all the way in the edge because our theater was fucking packed by the time I was like, oh, there's one today.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. Let's go.
So
that was my bad.
So we had that. I was like, we're going to try to avoid singing. I was like, I'm also going to warn you, people might just clap at the end of songs. And she's like, no, they won't do that. I was like, they might just clap at the end of songs. And we're like, okay, did not happen. I was like, oh, this is actually like, legitimately probably the best case scenario for that showing. We had no interruptions except for during one of the quiet parts of Defying Gravity at the end, someone kicked over their metal Elphaba bucket and you hear tick, 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 tick. And I'm like, oh, come on, just sit still. It's like the biggest moment of the movie. Why are you moving?
Damn.
But other than that,
that's funny.
Quiet theater. There wasn't too much besides when Wicked comes up, part 1, the person next to me, part 1? What? People in front of me Googling, did I buy the right ticket? What's going on? Because no one knew it was part 1. Yeah. Really funny. But overall, a good theater experience. I was happy. Everyone did clap at the end of the movie. Even Bethany clapped, got excited. I was like, all right, I'll forgive this one. I hate when people do this, but cool.
You
good
know
for
what?
you.
There's something about anything I wouldn't accept in the actual stage theater. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't accept here, which is people singing. I wouldn't, and no one did that I heard.
Good.
If they did, they were somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it wasn't near me. I'm fine for that. But clapping at the end of songs is like customary, and there's something special about this movie that it, as much as for those people, that's my space. Mm-hmm. That IMAX is for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're quote unquote invading my space because they probably don't come to many movies, or they do just for musicals or something.
They don't know where the row letters are.
Yeah,
they don't know how the theater's laid
said,
out.
Well, what do you mean? We sit in F, and my family sits in J. I'm the one who reserves all the tickets. You know what I mean? Like I know the spots.
Yeah.
But on a day like Wicked, I'm like, this theater's yours. I'm the intruder.
Right.
Like, there's something special about that, and it's almost like I don't know, going to like like an ethnic restaurant and being the only white person there. You know what I mean? There's something that's just like I'm here to partake. Going to a movie where everyone's a theater person, a stage person, I should say, and I'm the cinema person. I'm like, I don't like clapping.
I'm gonna
during, before, after
no
movies.
one important is hearing you clap.
Yes, yeah, that's where I'm like, this isn't this isn't canned. The director isn't in the room.
Right.
You know?
Now, if it's one of those theater experiences, one of the actors come, hey, you guys ready for the movie? Clap for that guy that walked into the auditorium.
You kick over your bucket.
Exactly.
You do whatever you need to do, you know?
A normal theater going,
that has literally
no one's
never
going to hear
happened
you.
to me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing where it's like, I like the clapping in this case. I'm like, I want you to clap. Like, I know you want to, so just do it. I also, clapping when a plane lands, clapping when a movie ends, it doesn't bother me. Like, if you really liked it and you feel like clapping, dude, that's fine. You do whatever you want. It doesn't, I'm not yucking it because it doesn't actually affect me. I also, there have been some, like actually at NCG, some horror movies I've gone to where a moment will happen and somebody and then people start cheering, like cheering happens. I don't know. There's something that feels more community about that. That's like, we're all so excited that this character got saved. The movie I'm thinking is Lights Out.
Okay.
When the boyfriend beeps his lights and he falls to the ground, he saves himself. Everyone was like, yeah, for Kyle. You know, that was one that was like, that movie went up half a point because of my theater experience being rowdy in a positive way. So sometimes the theater being louder is better. And I think Wicked's one of those times.
Okay. I loved watching Wicked. I thought they did a really, really good job. I think everyone really brought it. Ariana Grande, really 12 out of 10 for her. Just, understood, nailed it.
So separating from the movie, Ariana Grande just weirds me out now.
Okay.
She didn't when she was on Victorious or whatever. Her music's always been something I've enjoyed because I'm a pop girly. I like lots of pop music. So yeah, I like her music. But there's something that's like, there's like human civilization and then her like separate that I'm like, you're at an echelon of human that I can't relate to in any capacity.
Yeah.
And her music seemingly is a reflection of a lot of that. And I just don't, the bleached eyebrows, the whatever's going on with the jaw and the buccal fat and the whatever, I'm like, there's like an alien like work, like you don't look like a normal person I could ever meet.
Right.
I don't want to shake your hand. I'm scared of you. So I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to relate to this person at all. But I was like, she didn't lose it. She's just fully the same character. And I see her on things like SNL and whatever, where I'm like, shit, you're still funny. Like you're funny. You're a good actress. We all know you're a great singer. Like, it's actually just my feelings entirely. None of it is based in any reality. And she did make the movie. She enhanced that movie way better than I thought. I was like, oh, she's actually, in my opinion, the best part of that movie.
Okay.
If I had to pick out a thing,
right?
Is there a song or a moment that doesn't involve her that is very important? Yes, that was fantastic. But I was like, I preferred her performance as Glinda than Elphaba.
The G is silent.
Glinda.
Glinda. Watching the stage production was the first time I got the story of Wicked. So they probably do a lot of that stuff, but you're also on a stage, so you're smaller. But I thought there was a lot of teases in the movie, or a lot of like, hey, for everyone that knows what's coming in the next part, this is for you, this little movement or this little thing. And I was like, wow, that's really good, really well done. No one would get it unless you know, and then as soon as you know, you're like, fuck, that's really good, really great. They'd had not like a million of them, but there was just, every time they could, they're like, here's this for you, here's this little nugget for all the fans out there. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's so, I was like, it's not fan service in a way where it's like, hey, here's the cast coming out and doing their part. It's like, this character moved this way because of something else, or this character said this because of this. And I went, perfect, great, that's awesome. Good to hear. Good to see.
I didn't catch any of those. Of course.
Yeah, it's hard to, because like there's things
like
that
name one, because I remember the movie well enough. I'm sure.
So it spoils what happens in the second part.
Oh,
you like things that haven't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, because
haven't got it.
I'm someone who listens to motifs and stuff like that. And I'm like, musicals are so famous for being like, we're gonna drop the theme of a different song forward in the play because it ties to this person, and when they have their song, their tone, and then at the end we're gonna have the line from this song and the chorus of this song, and they're doing rounds, like I thought that's what you were saying.
No. This is like,
there's a touch of this character forward.
The like certain things that happen to characters in part 2, they allude to in this one, which again may happen on stage production or may happen in certain adaptations of the stage production, but because you're so far away and they're so subtle, you might not pick up on them. But because the camera could be framed here and then framed here, you're like, I see what you did there. And that almost correlates with like something from it. Really well done. very happy. It's
No,
hard
that's
to talk
good. That's
around
good.
it, but
No, I get it. I mean, because they also did touches of that to just like, this is the Wizard of Oz. Wink,
Yep.
wink. You know what I mean? Anything to do with the shoes.
yeah.
God, I'm trying to think of another one that, because it happened for sure, that I was like, fuck, that was so subtle. It wasn't the one that was like, we can't get you wet. You know, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but it was like, because we saw the beginning of the movie, right?
Yep.
But there was one that was like that. That was a line that I was like, fuck, that was clever. I don't remember.
All the ones I think of are spoilers, so I'm not going to try to like
that's
give
fine,
you
that's
ideas.
fine. One small thing about the intro, because the intro starts at the end of the film, The Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
Them walking away on the yellow brick road. I was like, it sounds crazy. I forgot that fuck was an actual lion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm like, you're
The
not
cowardly
trying
lion?
to protect. In my mind, I'm like, no, because it's important that it's her family member. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, there was something. I'm like, I didn't think that was a 4-legged beast creature. Like, I
Yes.
thought that was just supposed to be a man.
Well-
I mean, it is, right? Because that's the original. That's what it's about, right?
The-
Like the movie. I mean,
The movie. So, I mean, the Cowardly Lion in Wizard of Oz, even though it's a man in a costume, is supposed to be a lion.
well, clearly.
Clearly,
Yes.
like just a lion.
But
so
the,
this
but
one,
the
it's
way
like
the way the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion are her relatives is like
the dream.
I'm supposed to not see the human.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yes, in the dream is what I'm saying. So it's just like I've always been like, well, it's a lie, sure, but it's
Yeah.
a man. You know what I mean?
Now-
so seeing the line, I was like, oh, like I was proper like I'm taking out of this movie like. Fuck that! He's a lion. Like he just doesn't have courage.
the hardest part is Wicked. Literally, like at the second act, part of it runs simultaneously with the timeline of Wizard of Oz. However, Wicked, Oz is real, and these animals are animals that can talk. There's no
Right.
dream. Like you got to ignore that the Wizard of Oz was a dream.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
which is hard
clearly,
to disconnect.
Clearly, well,
but-
because I mean, it couldn't be a dream, and any of this happened because she's not dreaming. Yet.
Exactly.
Like I understand that.
Exactly. So that's like it's like hard to almost have that disconnect where not going to happen. But I think it would be really cool is this movie comes out, does amazing, it is. Second part comes out, does amazing, it is. They remake Wizard of Oz that just has the actors that I don't know how they're going to do it, but ties the characters together. So it's like these three. It's almost like a trilogy. You have Wicked Part 1, Part 2, and the Wizard of Oz.
But
redone.
the last two would go simultaneously.
Yes, but most of the stuff that like because the Wicked Witch shows up goes, hey, I'm gonna get you pieces out. We see all the other stuff.
I'm gonna get
we
you,
don't
my
see
pretty.
what's happening with
Yeah.
Dorothy, and then they converge at the end, and then they bounce. Like there's more afterwards.
One bounces.
Yeah. So there's like you could have a whole movie and then tie them together and have actresses come back or actors and all that different stuff. And there's a lot more to it
Yeah.
that could be really cool. It's not going to happen because no one's going to touch Wizard of Oz and remake it, even though I think it could be and it would be fine, especially now that we've got Wicked on this pedestal.
Well,
but
and, I mean, they've done other Oz things.
Yeah, a ton of them.
One, here we are.
Yeah,
Two, Oz, Great and Powerful.
Powerful. The
Three,
Wiz.
The Wiz. I was just
Return
gonna say,
to Oz.
I was gonna say there's just Oz.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Well, that's the prison show. No, I'm just kidding. I can see how it's tied slightly, but
if main character is like Alphabet.
yeah, exactly. But it's really funny because I watched Wicked, walked out of a theater, walked back into the same theater, and then watched Gladiator 2. And after really thinking about it, I go, wow, it's crazy that I followed up Wicked with Gladiator 2, and somehow Gladiator 2 is essentially like less racist and less sad than the second act of Wicked, where I got the same like almost action crazy madness happening and political drama.
Well, so we can go back.
not.
We can go back to the male weepy
Yeah.
being actually more about like cool shit happening and people being able to like shoulder all of the difficulties, but have moments of relief with other men.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the movie. You know, we could go on about that. I'm very interested now that I had someone label it that one time. I'm like, wow, it's a very curious thing you've done.
Yes, but it was one of those things too because I was like, I got to remember exactly what happens in part 2. And I started reading stuff and I was like, oh shit, man! For all the people that are coming into Wicked, just heard of it, watch the first one. They're like, oh, this is a rising story of this person that's been misunderstood for years. I go, there's about to be a lot of hard things that happen in the second one that I don't know if a lot of people are ready for. Because even right now, Wicked comes out, everyone's online. Even the author of the book's like, hey, don't let kids read these books. These books are not for kids. Like, Wicked, the musical, go and enjoy it. The books are not for kids. The second act of the play really isn't for kids.
Because I said the thing like, oh, there's books. It's an interesting read. It's a whatever movie, play, book. I think we talked about it, right? Was that last podcast? But I looked for the books in Books A Million this last week when Mia was visiting.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked one up and I was like, this looks like the most like 1940 looking book I've ever seen. Like by the cover of everything, I was like, is this a style?
This one?
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm exaggerating the 40s because of course it isn't. But also that's just how I was like, I'm a kid of the 90s grabbing a book and being like, this is an old book that somebody I know liked. This is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You know what I mean? That's what the pencil style looked like.
So the book is Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, part of the Wicked Years series. The first book was published in 1995.
There's 3.
4. The second one was 2005, which is Son of a Witch. Third one is A Lion Among Men in 2008, and then Out of Oz is 2011.
2011.
2011.
How long has this play been around?
Let's see.
You look that up. I gotta pee. And I'm gonna reload
Play.
soda.
Oh, Wicked Play musical. Duh. Duh. Let's see. Wicked musical. The first time. When does it come out? Premiere was in 2003. San Francisco tryout, and then hit Broadway in 2003 as well. So, 2003. So 8 years before the final, I'm pretty sure, I think, book of Wicked came out, the musical released. And I believe, I'm not 100% because I didn't read the books. I don't really plan on reading the books. The musical, I think, only covers the first book. I'm trying to think what I know happens. I believe it's just the first book. So if you're like, oh, I should read all the books and whatever, I think it's just the first book. So especially based on the title, I think it is only the first book. So I watch Stokes go get a soda. I see him over there. No one can see him. He's secret. Oh my God. I'm glad no one saw that. Actually, I don't know. Our views might have went up. I'm sorry you missed it. So the play musical originally came out in 2003, had its Broadway first tour. So like 8 years before 5 years before the second to last book, 8 years before the last book came out. And I say last book, I don't know if there's more planned to be more what he's doing. Mr. McGuire, I forget his first name. I see every time you search Wicked novel, it says Wicked novel McGuire. Like it's like this is the McGuire novel.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, don't watch it or don't read it. It's not for kids. And he came out. He's like, yeah, my book is not for kids. I put a sex scene with puppets on stage on page 14. So if you pick this book up by mistake, you knew to stop then. Like I had to put something raunchy in the beginning to stop people because it only gets worse.
Nice.
And he talks about how
that's what is the inspiration? Clearly, this is working. Hello.
Hey, we're talking about the Wicked books because we're talking about the Wicked movie.
It's so interesting to me the inspiration being like, hey, I want to take this Wizard of Oz story, and I want to write this very clearly, very different thing.
Yep.
It's just I don't know what it is it's like a weird separate. Only the book.
Yeah.
Because I see the movie, I imagine the play. I'm like, something about this makes sense. It has like there's an upbeat feeling to it, but I'm like, who sees that movie and goes, I got an idea for a story. And wants to tainted is the wrong word because I think it's awesome it exists.
Yeah.
I just am like I can't think of that.
So I think
it's the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, but it's like in a novel. It's got to be so much harder.
Yes.
Especially for something that's as good as it is.
So doing the little bit of research I did to know the differences and stuff like that, it seems like what he had is he wanted a story that showed the difference between nature and nurture and evil inside, evil outside, all that stuff. And essentially he's like, how do I tell this story? And he's like, who is the pinnacle? Who's an evil person people can like visualize, and how can I twist their idea of that person being evil? Yeah. And he thought evil, wicked witch of the West. Like, that was easy. It's like, I don't know if he said it or someone else, like, you think Wicked Witch of the West and you think Darth Vader. Guess what? Darth Vader's already had that story told, so he went with the other way. Yeah. I don't know if he said it or someone else, but I was like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, those are the two.
I was just going to say, evil. In 50 years, do we get a different Wicked, but Star Wars was. I was going to make that joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny.
So I think that's why he did that. And it also, I think, because it's like, well, The Wizard of Oz, I can tie to it, but it doesn't have to be perfect because that's a dream. That's not even reality. I'm going to take it as reality so I can shift things maybe a little bit here or there, or this could be this. And because I think different characters have different names or different things or yada yada. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to see the second one because I think it is going to have some really cool, horrific, but not like horrific, but horrific moments. And I hope they don't pull too many punches. I think they won't go too hard into it because of probably what's happening. But will. I don't think there's some that they really can't unless they rewrite the story. So,
well, we'll see.
We'll see.
It's only a year.
Yeah, it's only a year away, so it's not too far away. But I'm pretty excited, and it's a good movie. If you can sit through musicals, Mom and Dad.
Is they just a big no on musicals?
Yeah.
You know,
they don't get it.
Something about this one felt more like a stage production.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Both for you, exclusively positively, it seems. For me, there's like pieces of negative in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like Les Mis, I see where they could put everything on a set. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I can translate this to I've seen it in stage now, so I really can visualize it. But that was after the movie.
Yeah.
But I didn't get like the Anne Hathaway "I Dreamed a Dream" being like, of course, one of the major songs that people just know, major songs.
Mm-hmm.
The way that one's framed and shot, it feels more like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a movie before a musical, where this one seemed musical forward.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something about this one. The pacing of it felt slower. I just didn't find myself caring like nearly as much. I didn't feel pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the ending is like, you know, brain melting.
Yes.
Of course, it's just like, well, of course that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And there were times that I was like, oh, again, just the talent of like Ariana Grande in particular, but because she's the one in pink.
Yeah,
I can see her, and I'm like, are they digitizing her face onto stuff? Because she's killing it. I'm like, this is fantastic. But
yes,
the whatever scene was with the prince in the library, I was like, that was a really fun set piece. Like, I really enjoyed everything there. Her singing "The Wizard and Me," I think "The Wizard and I," whatever. I was like, I wasn't really gonna fall asleep at it. I wasn't tired at all, but I was like, next, please. Like, I'm good on this. Like, somehow we're on the edge of a cliff. Like, how'd I get here?
Mm-hmm.
I was just ready to move on. So that's coming from a guy who has zero tie to this story at all. So the pacing it felt very weird to me. It felt unmovie like, the pacing.
It's very, like I said, it's so weird because obviously the first movie's 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it's only Act 1, and the whole play is 3 hours and maybe change.
I heard it was about 4 hours.
Is it 4 hours?
That might be people rounding up just to say 4.
Maybe.
But in my mind, I thought the same thing. I was like, that movie felt like 2.5 hours. If you told me it was 2, I'd have believed you, because I was like really taking in a lot.
Yeah,
There was a sensory like overload in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing it's 2.5 is just like, could we have made some cuts? Could we have trimmed anything? Like and it wasn't a one where they sang everything. It's not that kind of.
It's not
like
Les
a Les
Mis.
Mis.
Yeah.
Like a Les Mis where every word is song. And I was like, was all of this on stage? Like, every moment that happened, did all of this happen on stage, or did they add something? Because I don't know if we needed to add anything.
I think the biggest
the visual of Oz at the end, I think, was like the most. Let's climb up the tower.
Yes.
Rather than just like run from left of stage to right of stage, or
and then
run
the
up the
set
small
changes.
stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this is the part where I actually can't visualize it, because we've moved from room to scene, from monkeys growing wings to that I'm like, there's no way. Mm-hmm. And we're spending a lot of time here. I don't know.
I think the big moments for me were the moments where they like not pulled on the brake, because the movie's not like trucking at that point, but you know, they have the where they're arguing, they're like, oh, she's unlikable, blah 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 blah, she's blonde. That whole music number's like ba ba ba, they're going back and forth fighting. Oh, I got to tell you all how to be dumb and stupid and just live life, because I'm a prince, I don't give a shit about anything, you guys should live life, blah blah blah. And they go, woo, we're gonna dance to no music and show that weirdness is something to be proud of, and all. That's where I can see where like it's on stage and that moment happens, but it's ramped way down in the movie. It's drawn out so you can feel those moments.
And it's shot more it's like closer on her hand, and closer on the this and the the hand is like if you feel the snap, you the jump scares. Yeah, that was, but it's those moments that I'm like, well, this story beat clearly needs to fucking.
It has to happen.
You don't get anywhere without this. You don't get Glinda and Oz without this, right? Like, there's so much to say. But it felt like a lot of red light, green light, red light, green light, and I was like, man, I really didn't feel like we ramped to something. Felt like we ramped to a song, boom, ramped to a song, boom. It was like 7 acts the movie, but it ended so strong that even Derek was like, man, I don't know if I like that, but that ending was the most anime shit I've ever seen on screen is what he said. And I was like, I don't watch anime. Maybe it was clearly awesome, but
yeah, and this act being hey, let's all be friends, and oh shit, this is what's really happening in the world. I also don't, and it was also hard to me because on stage, obviously, it's a guy dressed as a goat, much like the line in the original Wizard of Oz. And I'm like, are you a humified goat or a goat? In the movie, it's an anime goat. Peter Dinklage voicing him, but it's an animated goat.
That didn't pull me out, like nothing like that. It was all done well.
That helps me go, when they're talking about the animals and them losing the ability to talk and stuff, I was like, because on stage when he did like baas and I was like, so is that just gonna be a man that baas like a goat? That's so weird. But obviously it's not. It is a goat.
We're watching cats.
Yes, exactly. So it's like that helped a lot understanding that side of the story for me. And also even in the beginning when they're like, she's dead, this is what's happening. No one warns the wicked. I was in the play, I'm like, where the fuck are we in the time? I thought I was getting the backstory of Wicked.
Yeah.
Why is she dead? Like, what is going on? And then it goes, go back. I was like, oh, all right. I'm trying to figure out where my feet are. And in the play, I could not figure it out. In the movie, it helps a lot because they're like, hey, here's the shot of the water on the ground and the hat. And then we get into Munchkin. They don't really have that. They have voice, like a guy comes out on stage, hey, the witch died, blah, blah, blah. They do the voiceover. But you're just seeing a guy on stage. You're not seeing what it means or where we're at in the world. So that I feel like the movie helps a lot understand those moments. And then the big moments are still big. But it's just hey, we're being friends. Let's build up to this. Oh, shit, this is what's really happening. And from what I remember, Act 2 is a lot of oh, my God. Okay, we got to the end. It's just like everything's like everyone's trying to hold everything together, but everything's falling apart around everybody until the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I don't think there's a world I could have waited. I'm too zeitgeisty. I'm too like bleeding edge. I want to know things as they're happening. But I think the best viewing experience for this would just be watching 1 to 2.
I think so.
I really am like, it's like, what does it mean to just watch the second Lord of the Rings? Sorry, the Two Towers.
Yes, thank you.
I know.
What
does it mean? It's just like I never had to do that.
Yeah.
When I did, I watched the first, the second, right into Return of the King. Like I went to the theater for it. So it was like, oh, done. Check, over. And then we did week to week. So it was kind of like episodes of TV when we watched it when I drove down.
I mean,
this is like, oh, man, they're marketing smart in that if they advertised as part 1, it wouldn't have been me. I'm too zeitgeisty. There's a lot of people that have been like, I'll just wait. And then they don't get a second one, or the second one's not as big or not as much, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it does kind of remind me of the second Pirates movie, the part 1 of Harry Potter, part 1 of whatever. Like, here's the ending. Da, da, and then credits. And you're like, oh, shoot, the Hobbit more than Lord of the Rings, where it's just like Smaug flying to Lake Town, credits. And you're like, oh, fuck, I've got to wait? You're kidding me. Like, it's very we were just so high. But it's interesting. I mean, I don't know the numbers on when you advertise as part 1 or not, or when people just happen to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine people knew about this, but also the people who know that, love Wicked, they're just going to go,
It doesn't matter.
But you don't want to lose that. You don't want the people to wait till HBO because you don't see that money.
Yep.
And the ticket price money is much more than any HBO subscription ever could be.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm. It's the surprise of the person next to you. That's just the like. I don't like that feeling. When I did the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse,
the second one.
Yep.
That I was gonna say
that I was like, and they didn't. It's literally not anywhere. They just say he'll be back, and I'm like, you didn't finish the fucking story. I'm like, we're so far in this movie, you have to end this in an abrupt way to finish this movie. Oh, here's another problem. All right, fuck, we're getting another movie. Like, I really wish this wasn't a part one.
And that one's tough because they're like, hey, it'll be coming, and you're like, well, when? And you're like, it's coming.
Yeah,
at least this one's like,
if it was a guarantee and it had a date and it was 3 years away because it's animation or something, I'm like, okay, yeah. I just wish I could have tempered my mental. It changes my conception of time, or my perception of time, rather.
Luckily for Wicked, if you don't know Wicked and you're like, oh, I'm going to see the movie, part one, you got the moments probably people know. You got popular, you got the songs and the beats and the things that people know. The next part's going to be the finale, where I don't know if people know the names of those songs as well. Like, even Bethany was like, oh, the next song that's going to hit is between Elphaba and Fiyero. Like, that's the big song of Act 2. And I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember the name of it. Like, I don't remember it like I do the other ones, but I do remember that being a big moment and a big powerful thing. And I remember the scenes, but it's luckily, at least this part one gives you didn't go and Defying Gravity wasn't there, because that would have been a problem. That would have been that would have been a rough theater weekend, I think, because there would have been a lot of people really upset. Luckily, it's good enough, and it has the big powerful ending that I don't think too many people are upset, even if they don't know it's just part one. But definitely worth a watch. It's great.
It's funny though, thinking about the Gladiator versus the Oppenheimer Barbie. I told you, we said it. It wasn't just me telling you, but we said that we're going to see this artificially manufactured from now on.
The Gladed weekend, or the Wicked-ator weekend.
Wicked-ator.
Wicked-ator.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that one.
I was thinking it because Barbenheimer was a thing. I was like, what would this be? Glade? No. Wicked-ator? I guess that's it's just like, I don't know what you call it. It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily, but it's the same thing. It's the his and hers theater. I think one of my favorite, I saw a TikTok where a guy was like, so my partner was like, oh, I got tickets to the show tonight. And he's like, you don't understand. I was up for Fiyero at this production, whatever. I'm all about it. I get dialed up. I go to the concessions. I buy one of everything. I've got it all on me, and I can't wait. And I sit in that theater, and I watch Gladiator 2. It's like I don't even know who he is anymore. It was so funny. It was like, I was like, oh, dude, I know you built it up, and we kind of all knew it was going, but you really paid it off. It was really well done. It was so funny.
That was great.
Oh, man.
Well, it's funny thinking about, one, we're getting the artifice of it, but two, I think, like you said, about how this one, the Gladiator, was an overall happier movie. Mm-hmm. It's just funny how there's you can sit in a theater, and depending on the type of movie, not even just looking, if I were to like close my eyes in a theater and have people fill it, there's almost like I know what movie we're seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like a community thing that people bring in to the movie that just changes it all. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about, because you don't like going to the theater much.
No.
I don't know what it is, man. I just like whatever that sensory, that perception is. I like that feeling.
Now, I said Wicked, went in the theater, no problems. No one talked, no one sang. There was that one bucket moment, but even then I was like, well,
it's an accident,
happen, but why now, yada, yada. We go to Gladiator 2. And I look, and I go, I look at my ticket, F13, look at Bethany's, F14, here's F, there are seats, the date's right, everything's right, cool. There's somebody in our seats. So we walk down the aisle, I was like, hey, these are actually our seats. And he's like, oh, what? And it was like an older guy and then like 2 younger kids. And he's like, what? When did you buy them? And I went,
when did you, no, here's my ticket.
Well, I'm holding the ticket, and I was like, I thought he said, where did you buy them? And I was like, I bought them on the app. They're 4 here. I have the ticket. They ripped them. And he's like, no, when did you buy them? And I went, like a week ago. And he's like, well, I bought mine today. No, at no point does he try to pull out tickets. And the kids are already grabbing their stuff to move. They know they're in the wrong, but this guy wanted to fight. And I was like,
so what?
I just stood there. I was like, I have my ticket. This is my second movie of the day. Those are my seats. And he's just like, all right, yeah, it just must be a big misunderstanding on their part. And I was like, yeah, sure, dude. You're just in the wrong fucking seats. I don't know why. And then, of course, they get up, they move, they go to the wall, and they start looking. Like, oh, where else can we sit? Where else can we just plop down and sit? Because they don't fucking pay attention. And I went, why do you have to be like that?
The 3 of you have tickets.
Right?
You know?
They either have a seat assigned, or you bought a ticket and you wanted to go to a random seat. If someone comes and goes, hey, these are my seats, I have my ticket, just go, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes,
I've actually never had someone move me, but there's been times when I'm like, movie started. Those people didn't show up, or this spot's clearly open now. Depending on whatever.
The show was really sold. I wanted a middle seat, but I actually clicked too far forward, or I'm a little further back than I like. Let me just move up there. The show's starting. No one's coming. If they come to move me, I'll move.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like, sorry. Man.
It's the moment where they tries to argue without trying to pull out a ticket. I'm like, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah. The closest I've ever had is someone tried to move me, and I'm like, what? And I pull out my ticket. I'm like, oh, I'm just in the wrong row. Like, boop.
Exactly.
Done. Solved. Sorry about that.
It's very easy to solve. And then, which I get it, but also shut up, because I also think there's too many trailers. I equated to Bethany. I was just like, man, the trailers before the movies and then the ads and everything feel like when you're like, oh, I got to show you this YouTube video. And I show you a YouTube video and you go, oh, I got to show you one. I go, okay, cool. And we watch another one. And then I go, well, I got another one. It should stop at those first two. Because once you get down the rabbit hole, none of them are going to be as funny, and no one's going to like them as much.
We're only here because we're here, because we're here, because we're here.
Exactly.
Like, it's
not. That's what the third. I like 3 trailers. Everything after that is that. I'm already here. I have to watch it to get to my movie. But as soon as the trailers end, and then the fucking Coke ad where they're like, they're doing their dance, and then it's the heartbreak feels good in a place like heartbreak feels good in a place like this, and then the IMAX one. I'm like, oh my God, why is there 6 ads before?
It does work out well for IMAX or other theaters. As soon as the guy fucking throws the popcorn up or goes, it all starts with a spark. Any of that, I'm like to the bathroom. You know what I mean? And then as soon as I come back, it's like the timing.
Which you can have correct. That timing. Just cut out trailers.
You get the cool Universal logo and Wicked. I was like,
oh, the Wicked. That was really cool.
And then the Wicked. I was like, wow, that's some classic looking shit there.
But the trailers are showing. We're like 4 trailers deep, and I have a guy just in the back. Start the movie. I'm like, one, you're not talking to anybody. There's no one up there. There's a computer that runs a projector.
Play.
No one can hit play. None of us are appreciative of you saying something. And then of course all this stuff happens. The movie starts. Thank you. I'm like, oh my God, dude, why are we doing this?
Yeah, just people are annoying.
Luckily,
but
because the whole time I'm thinking he's gonna fucking do it during the movie. That's my thing. Is he talks now, he's gonna do something during the movie like that's stupid or just whatever he thinks is funnier than the movie. Yeah, he didn't. Luckily, because I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna. This is Gladiator 2. This is a level that I never thought I would get.
This isn't Ricky Stenicki in theaters.
This is you're gonna hear some shit. But luckily, everyone was quiet once the movie started. It was just the lead up to the movie. I was like, oh my God, did I have such a great Wicked experience? And that was the one I was worried about. That now Gladiator 2 is going to be the issue.
I mean, I understand the tenor of my voice and how it can carry and whatever in a theater. But before the trailers start and even into the first trailers, I'm comfy to be the guy that people are maybe worried about. You know what I mean? I'm opening all my candy bags. I'm, hey, you want any popcorn? I'm like, I need to run grab something, whatever it is. Or it's just like, hey, did you see? There's a trailer going on. I've seen this trailer 75 fucking times.
Yes.
I don't care. Hey, did you see that new anime trailer came out for the thing? Because I'm often with Derek.
Yeah.
You know, hey, did you see this, that, the other thing? I will have a fucking conversation. Because if you're here for the trailer, that means I probably haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you should have fucking YouTubed it the way I did weeks ago.
I think that's better.
The movie starts and then I'm quiet because that's me.
You're talking to somebody in the chair. This is a man talking at the screen.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is I might be one of those people that they're like, this guy's going to fucking talk to his friend the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bet you there's people in front of like, you know, they're just whispering like they don't want me being where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly that changes pretty quick.
I always feel like I'm the person that ends up laughing at the part no one else laughs at. Well, there's the jokes that everyone laughs at, and I go, oh, that's funny. But there'll be one joke in a movie that happens, and I don't know if I'm the only one that hears it or I'm the only one that thinks it's that funny, but I'll laugh out loud and go, oh, shoot, I'm that person that just laughed when everyone was quiet. And in Wicked, it happened where the goat's like, oh, I had a deer friend. And he's like, oh, a deer? No, he was a cow, actually.
Yes.
I was like, wow, it's so fun. And then I was like, oh, shit, I'm the only one laughing at this joke.
Yeah.
Because everyone laughs at the Ariana Grande, this, that, the Guz silent.
My crowd laughed at that.
Oh, but that one, and Bethany's like, I laughed
my crowd
at it.
didn't laugh at the Guz silent.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't really either. You know, that was during the train bit, right?
Yeah,
when
yeah. She changes it.
I smiled a lot during that whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, most musicals put a smile on my face, but me and the crowd laughed at the cow thing. So.
But Bethany was like, yeah, I laughed at the show. I was like, yeah, you laughed at it because you went, huh. I went, ha! And I was like, oh, shoot. I'm the only person that laughed at this. And
I don't know if I do laugh like that much. You know, that was...
Because it catches me. that's the laugh off guard.
I didn't take. I went to the. We know one person in our lives for sure that loves all Christmas movies, watches Christmas movies all year round. Do you remember him from the store?
I
just
know
by that description
of this person existing, but I can't tell you who that is. Like
Mason
I know
Allard.
Oh yeah.
Mason Allard. Remember, we got him on Fat Man. I bought him, or he bought Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Yes,
on my recommendation. He's like, dude, don't ever recommend me a movie. I watched it. It was terrible.
Christmas.
Yeah, but anyway, I took him, and I guess we went together to see Silent Night, Deadly Night. Violent Night.
The one with
they made too many of these movies.
David Harbour. That one, yeah. Whichever the version of that is.
I think it's Violent Night.
I think so.
Silent Night, Deadly Night's the gun.
Yeah.
With Rick Flag.
Oh, I think of the chimney with the Santa arm hanging out with the axe. Isn't that Silent Night, Deadly Night? The cover, old VHS
the classic.
tape. Yeah.
Yes, it is that. Oh, God, whatever.
Anyway,
who gives a shit? The David Harbour one, the new one.
Yep.
And we went, and Mason was great, but I was like, yeah, invite Mike, invite Amanda, invite everybody. Mike Long came, and he was the loudest laugher I've ever had in a theater. I'm sorry, Mason, I can't invite you to a movie ever again. It's the first and only movie I ever saw because I'm like, that was it.
Well,
I will never go. There was also Ronnie Patrick. Mm-hmm. You remember Ronnie?
Oh, yeah.
We went to maybe not plenty of movies. We went to one comedy together, and I was like, I have to ex-nay this. I will never be sitting with this man during a comedy again. It was John Arlt.
I
saw Barbie with John Arlt. And it was the same way. I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I love you. You need to laugh different.
So
he's like the Joker, dude. I'm like, stop.
Friends, Taylor and Caitlin. We watch a lot of movies here, watch anime, yada yada. We went to see the Haiku dumpster battle movie, and they talked.
Lansing, right? You drove a couple hours for that one.
Yeah, I had to, but yeah, I did drive.
Was it called you say the dumpster battle?
Dumpster battle.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because the mascots.
Don't.
It makes sense. But the when we're here, there's drinks, we talk, blah blah blah. And I was like, hey guys.
You also watch, I'll say shitty movies in a light.
They're
fun, they're shitty.
There's one that when I was like, hey, I want to show everybody this movie, and it didn't go well because I was like, no, you have to pay attention to this part. No one's paying attention. Okay, I'm not showing you movies anymore. We're just watching.
We're not doing anything important.
Exactly.
I get it.
So when this was happening, I was like, guys, this movie is very important to me. Haiku. Do not just future. We can do whatever. This movie, I just need absolute silence. Do not talk. Please. And they did. It was great, but I was like, I had the talk beforehand. I was like, this movie means something different. Please do not.
I just realized I didn't mark it. We did family movie night.
Oh.
And I had to have that conversation with my mom during the movie. I was like, I know we're here. I know it's fun. I know it's whatever, but I really love this movie. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say any of those words.
But I love this movie more than you.
That's what I was thinking. Well, that is true. But that's what I was thinking. But she was literally talking to Dylan the dog.
Oh.
And then she was like, I want to feed him some popcorn. Jim, is there salt on this popcorn? And I said, Mom, I love you so much. Please, I need this to stop. I think those were the words I used. And then she was totally cool with it.
Yeah.
But it was like right before the overhead. Oh, we watched 30 Days a Night. Sorry.
Okay.
It was the vampire movie.
Gotcha.
The overhead shot of the town going to shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, the sun is down. I need everyone. Because we start the movie. 4 seconds in, my mom kicks the thing down. She's got to go up. She's going to the bathroom. She's grabbing a snack. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I got to turn the volume up and down. She's also seen this movie from what I can remember. So her missing it's not a big deal. Somewhere right as the shit's about to hit the fan, Lauren gets up and goes to the bathroom, and it's the same thing. And she's like, you don't have to pause it. I'm like, I have to fucking pause it. You've never seen this movie. And it's called 30. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I get the I don't want to inconvenience you. You don't have to pause it. But I'm like, I'm watching this for you. I like this movie, but there's no world I'm watching 30 Days a Night right now. I just don't want to watch it.
There's other movies. There's other things.
So that was I had to have that conversation.
Heretic. You were talking about wanting to see Heretic.
Yeah.
Bethany was like, hey, did you see the poster for Heretic? I was like, yeah. And she's like, you know anything about it? I was like, yeah, I know about it. She's like, okay. Do you want to see it? And I was like, well, yeah, but that's going to not be a theater movie for us. That's going to be a movie 8 months from now when we catch it on streaming for free and we go, oh, we think this movie was good. We're going to put it on. We're going to have food. I'm going to get up and go to the kitchen to grab whatever during the movie. We can hit the bathroom, all that stuff. We're going to get done with the movie and we're going to go, that movie was awesome.
Oh, really?
That's that movie for us.
Oh, why?
Just because it doesn't look anything special, especially with Wicked, Moana, Gladiator,
no, that's all true. Well,
Craven.
To be fair, this did come out
so many things.
I think like 3 weeks ago now.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the month or end of October. It's been out.
Oh, I thought it just came out.
That was me saying, excuse me. That was me saying this movie is important to me. Like I would like to see A24 horror movies in theaters from now on because hit or miss, I still have enjoyed watching them, and I want to be part of the. Everyone I follow on everything has watched this movie, you know. So I'm like, I just want to not have to skip conversations to like whatever.
No, the movie definitely to me is like that looks like something that doesn't interest me. I know I should see it. It is good, but I don't want to go to the theater to see it, especially with all the other theater movies I want to go see. Because you better believe, was it a week, 2 weeks till Craven? Let's go.
Is it really?
It's December 6th, I think.
Wait. Okay.
Or the 13th. It's like a week or 2 weeks away, and I'm like, let's fucking go. Because I was telling Bethany, I was like, you see that movie right there? And it's like the thing, she's like, Raven. I was like, no, you got to see it. Because the cardboard was like bent, like she couldn't see the whole title of the
Oh,
shipper.
it was a cardboard thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was a trailer or something.
No, and she was like, Craven. I was like, yeah, we're seeing that movie. And she's like, why? And I was like, take a look back at the standee and just look at his abs. We're seeing this movie. and then I was like, but also the trailer's got this moment. There's a part with a log and legs. And then in Gladiator,
a rock, I think. Yeah.
the Gladiator 2, the trailer happened. I was like, I'm so happy you get to see this now. And I'm watching it, and the part comes up, and I'm looking at her, and she goes, and I went, exactly. That's why we're seeing this movie.
Oh, I was gonna say, if it has to be a Fast 10 or whatever, because. That's the movie where I'm like, I'm not taking anyone who doesn't want to go. Like, there's no world I'm dragging Shay to that movie.
I mean, maybe Bethany still doesn't want to see it, but that's why I'm excited.
Has Shay seen the trailer? Probably not. Like, would she want to? Maybe, because she surprised me with Venom. She's like, oh, I love Venom. This would be so cool. I want to see Venom.
The other thing too is Aaron Taylor Johnson recently did like a TikTok ad where he said, Craven being in theaters where I beep, and it beeps like, what? I have to say unalive? Is that even a word? And they're like, yeah, sorry, it's like a TikTok thing. Well, what if? And then he goes and starts describing the trailer, and he's getting bleeped, and it's like a whole funny thing. But I thought it was really funny that he said, I have to say unalive? Is that even a thing? And I went, yeah, I see that a lot on TikTok now. It is really weird, but yeah.
Yeah,
it was a good advertise where it's like, I'm on TikTok. I'm making a joke about the TikTok rules, but I do have to advertise an R-rated movie. It worked really well.
No, that's good. That's good.
So, but no, I'm really excited.
Yeah,
for
I mean, if it's got to be a Tuesday midweek one, it'd be a good one to go.
I mean,
but you have to let me know beforehand, otherwise I will schedule a Thursday release.
Okay.
So
I will let you know. I'll double check and see if Bethany just was like, oh, I understand why you want to see it, or I want to see it.
Yeah, pitch it to her as I'm either going with, because I could join you guys, I guess, but you pitch it as I'm either going with you or Stokes and I are going to go and try to get an empty theater.
Yes.
And she might be like, thank God. You know, she
she
might be like, you know what? I'll do that for you. And then she'll be like, oh shit, I dodged it. Like I got out, you know.
I think that might be my number one most anticipated movie right now is Craven. Now that I've seen Gladiator 2.
I am excited for Nosferatu. It's gotta be Wolfman. I'm just so hopeful. I love Christopher Abbott and I love Lee Whannell. I'm really hopeful for this
very
movie.
hopeful. That one movie worries me because Craven could go either direction, and I'm still going to enjoy it.
No,
Wolfman's like, I need it to be good.
Like, depending on the measurement, you know what I'm saying. A Craven isn't going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's gonna be
Megalopolis.
That's the thing where I'm gonna be like, I got to see a man get ripped in half across a rock, dude. Like this is all I wanted. As cool as I guess, as long as I get some cool beast mode style,
right? Craven fighting Rhino, dude.
Yeah,
Rhino looks so cool.
Yeah, all that looks great. But if we go off the track record, every Sony movie that is in this, every one of them is rotten.
Yeah, well, we can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, for most of them, you can.
Except for the fact that they're right. Did I have a lot of fun at Madame Web?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Does Shay love the Venom movies? I had fun watching. I didn't see the newest one, to be fair.
I didn't see the new
Family
one.
went without us when we were in Vegas. What's the other one? There's another Sony Marvel.
I mean,
like a property I'm missing.
For me, I just think of TASM movies. Those are good. I don't think of the villain Morbius. Morbius was great.
Morbius, that's
what a
the other one.
blast.
I actually haven't seen Morbius. But if it follows suit, it is going to be like, wow, this is fun shit. This is fun garbage.
Totally.
I just want fun garbage.
Yeah.
So it probably won't be good.
I'm a little raccoon with my fingers.
But the Wolf Man, I'm like, oh, this could be great, though. You know
It
what I
could
mean?
be.
Like Invisible Man for me, I was like, oh, this movie was like actually really good. I was surprised. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. And again, Christopher Abbott has my heart. So I love that guy.
There was a movie, like I said, I saw a trailer for a movie that comes out on Christmas or near Christmas. And I was like, maybe that'd be our Christmas movie. Because there was another one where Bethany's like, should that be our Christmas movie? I was like, I do not want to watch that on Christmas. I can't remember.
Nosferatu's the only one I know for Christmas. But
Yeah.
and I
it's
know
not like
you
it's-
don't give a fuck
It's
about
not
that
like it comes out on Christmas. It's that it comes out the week before or whatever. And we might just have to schedule it on Christmas because that'll be our free day. I just don't remember what it was.
Y2K is going to be fun.
That one's going to be a
That
fun
comes
one.
out December 6th. Night Bitch comes out.
Oh, yeah.
That one, I just want to see that. That doesn't have to be in theaters. Werewolves comes out. So
That one does look
So
good.
this is all December 6th.
Okay.
Y2K, The Return, which had Ray Fiennes. I don't know if you saw it. It's
Oh,
him
yeah.
as Odysseus. And I was like,
Let him shoot the bow.
I saw that and I was like, I don't want to watch this movie at all. And I love this story.
I want to watch the movie. I'll catch it later.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that one comes out. One called The Order. I don't know what it is, about bank robberies.
Okay.
Night Bitch, Werewolves, Solo Leveling movie.
Reawakening?
Reawakening.
Yeah, that's not anywhere.
That's the 6th. Craven is the 12th.
Okay, so that was it.
Lord of the Rings, the anime, the 13th.
That's the one that we wanted to go see.
Oh, really? The 13th?
Yeah, War of the Rohirrim.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that could be our Christmas movie.
Well, Sonic comes out the 20th.
Oh, Sonic was... Actually, hold on.
It's got to be Sonic,
It
right?
has to be Sonic. God.
Unless you guys want to go see the live-action Lion King on the 20th.
Oh, that was the one. She's like, "Oh, do you want to do that for Christmas?" I was like, "Oh, I don't. I really, I don't. I don't actually. I don't mind
Absolutely
watching
not.
it.
Absolutely
I just don't want to
not.
go see it." Sonic, I think, was our one, but I do want to see War of the Rohirrim.
Well, as somebody who I don't take to Disney in that same way, I will not be watching Mufasa. I just know it.
I didn't see the live action
there
Lion
isn't
King,
a world.
but she just seemed interested. I was like, I will
didn't
watch
see
this
that either.
movie,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to put it on. It's not going to go above Sonic or Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. Sonic 3 is pretty fucking hype for me.
Yeah. I loved the first one. Got to see the second. But for Christmas Day, it looks like the movies are Baby Girl, which is the Nicole Kidman with the... I think this kid's from Challengers.
Okay.
I think he's one of the dudes from Challengers. But it's like, we shouldn't love each other because we're in real life 35, 40 years
Oh,
apart.
no.
Scandalous.
Yep.
Nosferatu, and then A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie.
Oh.
Gold. What's his name? I'm trying to think of the director.
Oh. I don't know.
I can't remember. He's the guy who did Walk the Line and he did Logan. James Mangold.
Mangold,
See,
there
I was
it is.
like, gold.
Gold. Good. No, no, it's definitely Sonic 3. I think it was Sonic 3 because it was the 20th, where then Lord of the Rings was like, we need to see that.
You can see it
But
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Sonic
the
might be at
13th, I
Christmas.
said, so,
Oh
yeah.
man,
Or the
I'm
12th,
excited for
12th
Sonic.
or 13th.
Uh,
Yeah, that'd be a fun one to go to. I mean, because you know what, I mentioning it yesterday to someone that I ran into at a garage sale. That I was like, oh, I know you. It was Kelsey who did Incredible Mo's.
oh, okay.
She was asking what we were doing now. I said, YouTuber stuff. Here's what we're doing. And then she said something about there being like, oh, yeah, I'm just doing all this stuff because it's Christmas. I'm always busy selling stuff on Christmas. And I was like, I'm not.
For the first time,
I was like, I haven't thought about it, but like, I don't have a retail Christmas, whether it's retail sales, which has always happened, or into owning a retail space. I'm like, I just get to float. The 20th is probably free
yeah.
to me.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. And I'm like, I'm someone who's like, I've always got the 23rd. It's my birthday. I always have that day in some capacity. And then often Christmas Eve, I still worked at Best Buy. I worked on the 23rd at Best Buy.
Right.
Worked on Christmas Eve, but I've always got just Christmas, and then I got to go back. But I'm like, especially with CGB possibly taking time, I'm like, we might have just a week.
A week. Yeah. That could be cool.
That could be cool. That could be some shit that we get done,
Yeah. Real quick, before we get away from Sonic 3, I don't know if you've heard this, and you're not familiar with Sonic as like a thing.
Sonic as lore is a lie.
So
I'm in the Matrix.
So Sonic 3 seems to be pulling a lot from Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Adventure Battle 2. I forget the whole title, but it's
quick. I'm glazing over.
It's there's a big thing in it where Shadow's character is tied to this little girl. You see her in the trailer. She puts her hand on the glass, and it's like Shadow's only known loss, and the girl's like dead in his arms or whatever.
I had a human I loved once.
So that character in the game, voice acting, animation is very bad. So the big joke is that when she dies, you're like, finally, I don't have to watch her anymore in the game. There was a news report that came out that was just like, we need to ask all adult Sonic people to know that this is a kid's movie. Please do not applaud in theaters when this child dies. And I thought that was so funny. And I'm like, oh, but I'm going to fucking do it. That's where you clap in a theater.
That's where you clap is on the child's death.
So
That's
that
hilarious.
That was a concern that people are like, hey, let's just make sure we all know this is a kid's movie.
All that does is tell people to do it.
I know.
That's a crazy
But it's
thing.
like...
They're like, no, please, no, don't
do it.
do it.
Oh, no. We'd hate to have the press.
Terrible. Yeah.
But I thought it was really funny that that's something that somebody somewhere had to write down and be like, look, there's going to be fucking people that show up here that are going to clap when this child dies. We should maybe just say something.
Just have people be ready.
Oh, man. That's not what you get when you start making like video game properties, but there is a different culture around different things like that. And you got to kind of be aware of it when you start bringing it into other mediums where people are going to see Sonic. I know that name. Let's bring our kids.
Yeah, or if they just saw the first two.
Or they're like,
honestly, those were fun movies.
Yeah.
There's I don't, how do you say it, right? There's certain crowds, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The Sonic crowd
is an interesting bunch.
I can't trust them. Not one of them.
Not a single one.
I'm like, dude, there's a folder on your desktop I shouldn't look at. You know what I mean? Like, and it's probably on the desktop is what I'm saying. That I'm like,
it's with the title secret.
Well, yeah,
do not open
taxes, but it's the folder, and I see 5 blue toes sticking out, and I'm like, I really shouldn't click that. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god, that's
like
so funny.
what H&R Block file has 5 blue toes sticking out of it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But
hilarious.
I really shouldn't look there, and you know, it's like if I'm thinking hierarchy, like it's deeper in the trenches mentally for me than like anime. Which that goes a long way for a lot of people. All the statues in the app we were playing with yesterday. Then I'm like, dude, live your life, do you? But for the Sonic people, I'm like, stay away from my kids. You know what I mean? I don't want you anywhere near me. You weird me out.
So funny. So I have another news story. That isn't. I don't know if it's an actual story because I saw it. Riding in this morning, I went and saw it on Twitter. The account that's on Twitter that's got like the Darth Vader helmet. Was it Pop?
Oh, Pop Grave.
That one.
Yeah.
They shared something, and I went, oh, they're usually reliable. Let me go see if I can find like a confirmation news article. I couldn't find a news article that confirmed it.
This was today.
Today.
Okay, I didn't tap into anything today. I was busy downloading a bunch of card games.
So what I saw is reported again. I saw them tweet it. It might be either like phishing or they got misinformation or whatever, so don't blame them, don't blame us, yada, yada. But I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to bring up if this is true, that currently they're reworking the Batman Part 2 to be planned as an animated film and Batman Brave and the Bold to be the DCU's new live-action Batman, and they're going to push forward with that. Now, you weren't a big fan of the Batman.
I know.
We haven't watched, or I don't think you have yet. I haven't watched the Penguin, which apparently is amazing.
I watched the first episode and I went, wow. Shut that off. I don't think I'm going to watch it. I don't know. It didn't grab me.
So then a lot of people are really excited for the Batman Part 2, but hearing that it might transition to animated, which DC does a lot of animated stuff. Some are actually good. None of them are, I don't think are.
I think a lot of them, I really enjoy a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, a lot from the past I love, actually.
Yeah.
But Hush was good. I liked Ninja Batman a lot.
And that was interesting.
Gotham by Gaslight, the Jack the Ripper, like steampunky one.
Yeah.
Those were ones I enjoyed. Those are all I've seen, but that's a good track.
There's a lot of
right?
the ones that I think of that I watched were like the Flash. What's his big moment? Flashpoint. They did an animated version. A lot of Justice League ones where I'm like, yeah, this is like a Saturday morning cartoon level.
That Justice League show though.
Yes, but it's like that's the level of it. It's not the Batman Part 2.
Yeah, that,
you know what I mean?
That does carry a different weight.
Yes. So I thought that would be interesting.
Let me look it up on my phone as I pee. I finished.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm so bad. Okay.
I'm not. So that's. I just think it's going to be really like a weird and interesting thing if they now there is an issue. What essentially they're trying to like overcome is that they're going to have 2 different live action Batmans at the same time as they're trying to revitalize DCU as a movie franchises. They're kind of doing away with everything in the past and rebringing all new stuff. So it's already they've got that task. To have that task while also having 2 different live action Batman, one plays into the world, one doesn't. I could see that being an issue. But it's going to be really hard to get people to see Batman Part 2 if it transitions to animated, especially because I think the biggest selling point of the Batman movie is the way it looks and the way it feels. All the actors, I think, do a really good job in it, and they can do the voice acting in the new one. But the way it's shot and filmed and all that stuff is really what I think makes that movie enjoyable.
Yeah,
anyway.
She said she was just here.
Yeah.
But also, I'm looking for Old Parcheesi. Have you ever heard of it? It's called Folk. I'm like, no, I haven't heard of it. We didn't do any of the classics. I'm walking at you at the door. Get the fuck out of this building.
Anyway, back to what we do
That's
now.
The Batman.
Weird. The Batman. Second
so
part
I looked it up.
Yep.
James Gunn yesterday announced that they don't even have a script yet.
Oh, so it really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I wonder.
And there's some concerns because Arpats is now in a Christopher Nolan movie that's scheduled to be filming or something like that. So they're like, well, if you get the script, is he going to have time? Is he going to have this? Is he whatever? So Jeffrey Wright says he hasn't heard anything from anybody. Yeah, nobody knows.
It's weird because I feel like not that long ago when The Penguin was being touted as a great show and all that stuff, I feel like Matt Reeves was talking about, yeah, we're going to do more. This is going to help this. And like, I feel like Matt Reeves is playing in his Batman world. And he's alone, but he's talking as if he's got DC behind him, ready to help let him play. Where then James Gunn, essentially the face of the DC right now, going, yeah, we don't have a script. Matt Reeves might have 6 scripts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like he's on draft 7.
Yeah, we haven't found the right script, or who knows?
Yeah. So maybe we don't even get one. Maybe James Gunn just goes, yeah, we don't even want a part 2.
Yeah.
It's weird because, I mean, it's all weird because of the way it's all being handled, but why release The Penguin if you don't want more of this?
Well, how long have they been filming that? You know what I mean?
It's true.
A whole TV show, it's like the 8 hours that it is, or 9 hours across the whole series, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I get it. Who knows when they started filming and how far. And it was, if you watched the first 2 episodes as they're filming, I mean, it's probably out of order, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you watch and you're like, fuck, this is good. You go, yeah, keep making it. You know, we still need it. We need the money. We need the this.
We need something,
that. So,
yeah.
Because being more business focused than canonical lore focused, they might be like, people loved it. Sweet. Now we can cut it. We can pull the plug now.
Yeah. Now that we got our money,
we've got the Brave and the Bold,
and
and we're about to have our DCEU from the start correctly. What a blah blah blah. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't like the first one. So
yeah.
If the second one never comes, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I watched the first episode of The Penguin, and I was like, this looks like it's made really well. I don't want it anymore. Like, it's just not, I don't want to watch this. So if you give me something completely brand new, fine.
Do we get the Superman movie that James Gunn's working on? Do we get a trailer?
A trailer? It is next summer, right?
I thought it was, but I'm like, I feel like if it was next summer, we should have a trailer before. I think by the end of the year.
You'd think. It's possible. It still could happen. Are they going to debut the trailer at like the Super Bowl?
Oh,
January, February.
In my head, I was like, what con or what's happening that they would premiere
well,
at?
they do have
but
their
Super Bowl kind of makes sense.
What do they call their DC one? I don't remember.
D-Con.
DCC?
DCC?
I don't remember. There is a name for it, but the DC Con. Nope, not Awesome Con. Not Washington, D.C. That was a lot of Awesome Con. We'll never know.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they could be waiting for that depending on when that falls. But I'd say it's probably the Super Bowl that if there's something at DC, it's like, here's the teaser for a trailer.
Super Bowl makes sense.
It's a soft teaser, and then we get a trailer.
It's a 20-second ad or whatever.
Or at the Super Bowl, like they did with Deadpool Wolverine, where they're like, hey, we're going to give you the first trailer. It's 25 seconds, 30 seconds. Watch the full trailer online because we don't want to pay $10 billion for the ad space here, you know? So
you get a shot of, like maybe a boot and then full trailer online now. And you go, whoa.
I got to look right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
I guess that makes sense.
That would be good.
I want to see what it looks
It
like.
doesn't look like anything mentioned animated stuff.
Okay, so
if you
probably
see
not true.
you see the Vader helmet, ignore it from now on.
Yep.
Because they're liars.
I mean, that's fair. I've gotten off Twitter. I usually just check.
If they said, "Oh, rumors are the next one will be animated," it could have been from literally anybody.
Anybody.
I'm an insider. My uncle works for Nintendo. It'll be animated.
Right now, my Twitter is I scroll through and be like, is there anyone here that I do follow that I want to bring over to Blue Sky? Is what I'm kind of going through. Then,
I did that already. I went just through my followers. I just looked through my followers, and then I trimmed a lot of followers.
That's fair. I think I have
the real thing.
I'm sure I follow way too many.
No, I was looking to see. I re-downloaded it because I told you to delete. I re-downloaded the next day because I sent Snowbike Mike something about Magic. He hasn't answered though, so I'm about to send it over to Blessing and Nick and Greg.
I was gonna say after their videos and stuff.
Well, Blessing's been playing Magic on stream every day since.
I mean, I follow 424 people, and I was like, I don't want to scroll through that. And then also who does have and doesn't have yet or whatever. But I'm trying to just get over to Blue Sky and be done.
I don't think I follow that many. And also there was a lot that I was like, I don't look at anything you post anymore. I don't look at this. I'm like, you are one. You know, so whatever.
Yeah. But, social media things, I'm trying to do more of it. It actually, I had this recently.
You gotta post more other than just when you go live.
I know that's my thing. So, the other morning, I was thinking, I was like, I was gonna go live, but I was like, I don't want to just make a post about going live. What else should I post? And that was, I don't know if you saw, I tweeted about like I got asked to spot someone at the gym this morning. It's the first time I've ever been asked to spot somebody, and I was like, I've been going to the gym for a while, but it finally felt like I was almost like belonging, But I wrote that tweet out. I was like, who the fuck cares? I wrote this, whatever it's called on Blue Sky. I wrote that message out. Who cares? Deleted it. And I was like, well, I gotta do something. So
you deleted it?
I deleted it.
That makes sense why I didn't see it then.
Well, I guess I gotta do something. And I was like, well, if I got nothing else, and I did think to do this, that's just what people do, right? They think, they post, and it doesn't matter. They don't think people need to know it, but it just helps them to just release it. So I rewrote it and then released it, and I went, man, I don't know if I can do it. It just feels so, it's like a different way of thinking. Because in my head, it's like, I don't want to post anything that no one cares about, or it's got to be like a funny joke. That's like, usually it's like a funny joke, or this is something that matters, or a review. Like, oh, I really liked Wicked, or this happened, or blah, blah, blah.
Sure,
cool.
sure.
But just like a random thought I had, very weird. That's awesome. I care. The fact that you help is what the gym community is about, and it's important to share that. Thanks, Tron. I appreciate you.
Fuck you.
Whoa!
Not Tron. You.
Me?
Yeah. Just because he brought you
up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You want to bring me back down?
Yeah, I just want to bring you back down. Just
You're only a man. You got your hand on my shoulder.
You can bleed too.
Yes. But no, so
Tron, love you. That's great.
So it was one of those moments where it's like, because I think I had a tweet a day before that where I wrote it, and I was like, no one cares, and I deleted it. And I didn't even go back to it. But the next morning I was making food, wrote it, deleted it, and I was like, no, you got to think of something. Do something. And then I shared that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because like we're talking right now on the internet doing something. So if I really had a no one cares attitude, I just wouldn't be sitting here.
That's true.
Like if you had it, if I had it, my thing for social media is just like, I don't feel like saying anything right now. Like that's it. Some people just want to keep talking. And it is a lot of who cares, but when I'm talking to Shane, I talk to enough people that I'm like, I can spew my nonsense out at them and they can fucking deflect it all they want.
I think my mindset just has to be like, because sometimes I'll have thoughts that I think are good thoughts, and there's a lot of time like in the morning, especially gym time and food.
Sure.
Bethany's not awake yet, and I'm alone. Time. It's solo time. I go, maybe I should just share more of just like a thought or this, and just do because no one cares, right?
Yeah, you should just say your post should start. All of them should be post gym clarity, and then.
Okay. What do you think of that? That's very good. That's very good. A stranger asks you for help and you help them. I want to lift, but I go solo, and asking a stranger for help is not in my wheelhouse and will take a lot of effort for me. Tron, 100%. I never ask anyone to spot me. One, to be fair, I go to a gym with a lot of older people, and I'm lifting weight where I'm like, I don't know if I can trust you to spot me.
Yeah, it's like the average age there is AARP qualifying.
Yes.
It's geriatric gym.
And the gentleman I helped is in very good shape, but he is older. So when I saw his weight, I was like, oh, I can... If anything were to happen, I could easily grab this weight for you. And I was like, how many reps are you going for? All this different stuff. He was shooting for 3. He ripped 3. Actually, the third one was a little tough at the end, but he was fine without me. But I was happy to help, and I was there.
It's good. You also don't want to be the guy that's like, I can do 3. You're struggling third, and you're like, I gotta tank it. You know what I mean? Like I gotta dump this, and then you're just at 6 in the morning.
No, he killed it. He put it up, and he's like, "Yep, that's enough for me." I was like, "Cool, dude, whatever." And I went back to my thing, and I was totally fine. But it was, it is something that I don't ask for, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I also, although I go to the gym a lot, the terminology, the like talking, all that, I still don't have it like comfortable because I never talk to anybody there. I go there, I look at an app, I go, okay, I got to do these things. I do the things and I leave. So
yeah,
but no, I get it, Tron. But definitely ask. I mean, that's when I had like when I paid for the app and the guy would talk to me. He'd always go find a spotter. They might look intense. It's because they're in the zone, but they're happy to help you. I'm happy to help people, and I was happy to help people. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to take that step.
Clearly.
Exactly. So, but yeah. Oh, I was just talking about Blue Sky. I was like, how did we get to the gym? Blue Sky, messaging, all that stuff. Yeah. So I might try to just throw some random stuff, see at the wall, but post gym clarity is really good.
Just because then it's also, you're updating people when you went to the gym, I guess, which is easy. It's also, you're a psychopath that doesn't let your car warm up in any capacity. But if I were
the car's fine.
If I were leaving the gym, I would get in the car, start the car, be like, it needs to warm up.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing, I think I almost did that message at the gym, but the gym, I'm on Wi-Fi. I get to the locker room, dead zone. It literally says SOS on my phone.
And their Wi-Fi is not great.
It's not great.
So it's like, I know, I bet, because I went to the same gym for a while. Yeah, I was like, I have to download something to listen to. They're the ones that made me change my music too. Like, I'll just download it.
They're very lucky that Planet Fitness is on the other side of town, because I don't want to drive across town.
Yeah,
especially with winter coming and snow.
Just period, so much better.
It is. So if there was one on this side of town, I'm sorry, Center Ice, but
I didn't see it anywhere today. But when I was leaving the airport at 5:30, whatever time, it was snowing.
Oh, really?
Snowing.
Oh, wow.
And I
got rain at 7.
But then after one of the hills, I came up and the snow was then rain. So I'm like, we're at like a break point, and we have it for Thursday.
Yep.
So, which is unfortunate because I'm like, God, that's the day that I'm leaving. That's the day I'm going downstate.
Finding gym people is hard because there are so many different things and ideas. Yeah, and different people shoot. I mean, when I use the Ladder app, I paid for it for a while, and now I don't pay for it because it's expensive. I just can't afford it. But I still can like look at the workouts. I just don't have the guy telling me like, these are the amount of reps you're doing. Count them out. This is what you should be focusing on. Here's where this was. I don't have any of that. I can just look at them.
The coaching. You just have the program.
Right, but even in the Ladder app, there's like, are you going for bodybuilding? Are you going for high interval training? Are you going for this? And so many different things in just one fitness app, and they all do different things, focus on different things. Oh, do you have weights you can use? Do you not have weights? It's a lot, and it's always changing. It's like, hey, you should eat this. Stay fucking away from that. That is going to kill all your gains. Oh, you should definitely eat more of this. It's just constantly changing. So
it is crazy to me there isn't just like the science out yet.
Right?
You know what I mean? I mean, not so much about the workout, because I feel like the weights, the workout, that is so body dependent.
Yes.
Food can be too. Not that it's not, but it's, I mean, you know, there's plenty of people who are just like, if you want to lose weight, it's just a calorie deficit. You don't have to care about anything else.
Right.
It's easier to stay in a calorie deficit if you focus on higher protein, but you don't have to.
Yep.
If too high a protein starts hurting your tummy, you don't do it anymore, you know? But it's like, because it's so custom to people, but it's like everyone agrees on one high level thing. But then once you hit that second tier, there's 2 camps. Then you go down those 2 camps, and there's 2 more camps, and then all of a sudden you got people who are like, I don't eat vegetables, only eggs. And I'm like, what the fuck? How'd we get here?
And the also problem is all those camps have people that are like, oh, if I go into this camp and capitalize, there's my social media, there's my advertising, there's my money.
Yeah, they're like, wow, there's really no one really tapping into the carnivore diet
space
or the keto space. Or
Tron says, I overpay for my gym because it's my backyard. I want to go cheaper, but having to drive means I wouldn't go. I figured out recently, because I tried to stop paying for the gym and just do it at home. I have to leave the house.
Well, his isn't literally his backyard.
No, right, yeah. But like, I literally have to like leave the house, and it helps if I'm not farther away. Like, I don't want to drive forever. But if it's like a trip, then it's not so easy to be like, yeah, I'm done for today. I can just hop home real quick. But it's like, I'm here. Well, you know, it's funny. I need to take the time. I'm already here.
I've had those moments where I'm like, man, I don't feel too great. Let me just get there. Let me do the thing, whatever. I take a little pre-workout. You get to the gym. This was like many years ago. But I drove there. I'm in the parking lot, and I'm like, I just don't want to go in. Like I must be fucking sick. I'm here. I have the beta alanine itchy butt electricity in my blood, and I don't want to go in. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
I need to go home. That's like, it is almost like a litmus test of sorts. There's not really and also same thing when if I'm working out and I'm starting to feel sick because I'm just getting back into it, or I went a little too hard, or something's happening. I'm like, I can listen to myself now. At home, you're just like, my arms are tired.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, there's the Xbox right there. I should probably.
Yeah.
For me, I've got my levels is if I get to the gym, I'm doing something at the gym. But when I get to the gym, because the gym's on the second level, if I walk up those stairs and I can feel my legs already, I go, oh, it's going to be a short run or a no run day, or it's going to be a this. The stairs,
right,
it's like
those are yeah.
Yeah, I'll go, oh, I'm not doing 3 miles this morning. I might do 1. And if I don't make 1, that'll be okay because I'm already in pain and I haven't even got my shoes on yet. So, but yeah, I still really like it. I still like doing the gym. I do wish my gym didn't just have one of every machine. I wish it was bigger, like Planet Fitness, that had more availability and stuff like that. But it's just
better functionality too.
Going across town just is so. It's not distance far, but the drive is far. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of distance far.
It is. I mean,
for a down and back every day.
Yes.
That isn't related to work or something that's an actual must. Because the second a hurdle's in the way, is like, I don't want to drive that far.
Yep. Because right now
I feel that now because there isn't a gym near me. There like literally isn't anything close.
Yeah.
The closest thing is 15 miles.
Snow falls, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going across town, specifically on airport or whatever, because of the hill. I'm like, there's the one with the light, and I'm like, if I get stuck here and then I can't get my car to go, and I'm on this hill, spinning tires in snow, I'm like, oh, it's over. But going to Center Ice, because it's mostly back roads, really easy. There's not too much traffic there. I can usually get there and be okay. Yeah. But it could be better. And they also just built this whole room. And I get it, their clientele is the AARP, the older client, but there's a whole room for specifically like massage chairs and stuff. And I'm like, this room wasn't big enough to begin with for the gym, and you just built a whole other room to take up more space where the pad was and all the medicine balls and stuff, and you could do a little bit more of like floor work. Now that's like shoved into the corner, and it's just oof. It has a new person. He's trying new things, and I'm sure it does great for.
It's got a new guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure it does great for the people that a lot of the clientele that are there. But for me, that's like, I just want more space because I'm a bigger guy. You give me, I got to do like this. I'm like taking up a lot of space in the gym. I need to find a corner to do that. It's very hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, still enjoying it though.
It's funny because right now I'm just like, I can't even think about going to the gym. I like the head dryness that I'm feeling. I told you about that. I'm like, I think I need something else right now. I need a nap.
A nap? Yeah.
Well, I'm because we said after this that we're going to do some work. We're going to whatever. I got to look over that contract thing. But
yep. The gym is 0.5 miles from my place, so just enough to wake up, warm up, and listen to music to get my mind ready.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah. The other thing with Planet Fitness would be nice is that they're just times are open. You can just go. They're open early and late. This is like the gym opens at 6, normally 7 on the weekends, which is early enough. But it closes at 8, and Bethany gets out of work at 7. So if I was like, Bethany, if you want to come to work out with me, it's 20 minutes max because the gym's closing.
And that's sprinting there. That's
rushing.
Maybe you're getting dressed in the car.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so a little bit more open hours would be nice. But we do what we can with what we got.
Ain't that the truth?
Usually, yeah. I felt like I had another story in particular about something that I left off because we talked a lot last night because we had guests from other YouTubes and stuff, and we were doing a lot of talking, and I feel like I wanted to bring something up, and I was like, nope, save it for the podcast. And of course I don't remember it now that I'm sitting in the chair with the microphone.
Did it have to do with any new games? We talked about video game stuff too.
Yeah.
Talked about the Assassin's Creeds, things getting delayed, Monster Hunter.
There's a lot of news coming out about like once again, people are talking about how Rivals is going to kill Overwatch.
Oh, that's right. Rivals is a week from Friday. I think it's the 6th, right?
I
think it's the 6th.
I think so.
Maybe it's the 7th. I don't remember the days, but
they some people were talking specifically because it's like, like all the data the background data that's like people have to like go into spreadsheets for Overwatch. Like this is the distance, the damage multipliers, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like in Marvel Rivals, there's a page you just click on it and it just lays it all out for you. Like it's built into the game for all that stuff. No one has to figure it out, and then you have to like go into message boards to figure it out. It's there designed in the game, and also it's coming with like 33, I think, characters on launch for free. You can just play them all. You don't have to unlock them or do whatever. A lot of things that like I think if Overwatch were to launch today probably would just do. Yeah. But because it's already in the past,
they're
and
at now.
They're like
every new hero's free, every whatever. Like you get it.
And then I watched some Hawkeye gameplay, which was pretty cool.
I saw that trailer.
It was like
because he comes out on the 6th. I think he's like a launch character.
Yeah, it's very much Hanzo and Genji in one. But like the sharpshooter, like just knocking health bars like way down, like half in the tank's health with a single arrow to the head. I'm like, that's wicked cool. Yeah, that's super exciting. But don't know if I'll play. I'll probably download it, give it a shot, but I don't know if I'll play a ton of it just because I'm not even playing Overwatch. So, I wanted to for their classic. I just haven't got to it. Still. Yeah. I just haven't. Yeah. Every time I think about it, I go, I don't know if I want to play
I'm still looking at the store when I hop in Overwatch. I'm just like, should I? Because they just released the Black Cat Mercy skin. I'm like, come on. I got to get every Mercy skin.
Yep. I did. So in Halo Infinite, there's essentially you get, you do your weeklies or whatever. You get these credits, and in the store, there's like purchases. There's like one big purchase that they had out, which was like 75,000 credits, I think, and like everything else is like 6,000, 4,000 credits. This is like a big item. I just got up to it, afforded it, bought it, and now I'm like, well, I've got 2 more items to buy because the rest are ones I've already gotten because I've been playing since the beginning. So soon I'll even have enough credits, buy everything, and the credits will be worthless to me. I'm like literally running out of things for this game to give me, and I'm like, I don't want to rush another Halo out. But I still want to play Halo. Can you please give me something to do? And they still have their battle passes that come out and stuff. Right? So. Yeah. And there's still battle passes, but because of my double XP, I finished those so fast that I'm like, give me another level 100, not 20 levels. Give me another big thing or whatever. But we'll see. They did the Halo 2 anniversary where you could play, and it's like there's no sprinting. It's It feels really good. It's real, and I'm like, I don't know if at this day and age, the next Halo, that could be the game where there's not sprinting and not that. I don't think you can. But man, it feels really good. Maybe there's a competitive mode that's designed like that.
No build. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that exists.
But it's crazy how good it feels. I realize how bad I am at Infinite if I don't have because like the maps and everything are designed for the sprinting. And when I look and I go, I know I can grapple up here or I can clamber.
Sure.
And I hit the wall and I slide down. I go, oh yeah, there's not clamber in this. I get shot a lot trying to like run a path that I normally run, and you just can't.
I'm just running backwards to get to where I needed.
Yep. Yeah, but still good. I was hoping talking about games that I've been playing would bring back what I was thinking, and I'm not getting there. Did jump on Sea of Thieves.
With the new focus.
Yes, with my new focus. Yeah, we haven't talked.
We haven't talked about it. We talked about your plan.
We got on Sea of Thieves, and I was like, let's see if we can do this. Let's look at some achievements. A lot of them are commendation-based, which is really cool because then you can just look at the commendation and it goes, this is what you need to do. Now, they all take a while, but it's like, do this thing, this is it, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them are like, turn in 30,000 gold through the gold hoarders, earn that much through this or this or that. So it's like, just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to do anything special. But it was really cool because we were playing and we're doing the thing, we're turning stuff, and we turn, and there's another ship pulling into port, and we're like, oh shit, we're about to fight, or we got to get this stuff turned in. And we just hear, we're friendly. And I was like, oh, that's nice. That's pretty cool. And then we all start hanging out there chatting, Alex chatting. I can't get my voice chat to work in game for some reason. I got to look at something if something's not marked right or whatever.
Probably push to talk or something.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, we're talking and we're all on the ship. And I go, oh my God, everyone pull out your instruments. And so we 4 do it. And then we had one person from another ship on it. And they played their instrument with us. And there's an achievement to play with 5 sailors because you can only have 4 on a ship. So you have to make friends with someone to get the achievement. And I was like, I thought this was going to be one of the most annoying achievements to get. And I got it the first night I sat down to get achievements. I felt so good. It was awesome.
That's great.
It was really cool. And
that's the kind of stuff you can only do if you read the achievement list. And that's like, you're like, oh man, I haven't been doing this.
Yep. There's been multiple times I could have, but I just didn't. And it was really funny because then he was on our ship and we were like, okay, we're going to the next thing. He's like, okay. And then we start sailing away. You just hear him shout to his friends, they're kidnapping me. and like, it's just like, no, you're fine. He's like, yeah, I know. don't worry. But they'll freak out. We'll let them freak out. And so our ship sailing away. You see them jumping on their ships. The sails are dropping. They're chasing us down. No one ever fought. They just ended up signing off. We were in like an alliance. So when they were turning in their gold, we were getting gold for it as well and stuff. So it was a great night of Sea of Thieves. And I was like, man, I didn't think this is what I was going to come. It's like somebody really wants me to play this game. I'm so happy. It's great.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why I'm bringing it up and hopefully playing Saturday again because it was a great experience and I enjoyed it.
That's great.
Have you been playing anything in particular?
Valhalla.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I actually had a very I'm just playing casually, and I finished the last section of the map, which there's like 20.
Mm-hmm.
And they each have a story arc to them, and it's the choose your own, just go in whatever order, claim your alliances. And I beat the last one on the map, and of course, as soon as you're like, I turned it in, you go to the same spot to turn everything in, which is like your home base of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And when you leave, it starts let's go do this final thing. And I'm looking at Shay, she's reading, she's doing whatever on TikTok or something. I'm like, yeah, let's start it. And then she was like, all right, I'm going to bed, I'm doing whatever. I'm like, I can't stop.
Yeah.
I have to keep going. And I finish it, and it turns out it just opened up one spot on the map that's like, this is the fight. You do this, you own England, is like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I can go to bed now. But it was a crazy, like, animus sort of moment thing that I was like, I saw you're not going to play it. You don't care,
No,
right?
Yeah, no.
I saw Yggdrasil.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's an animus Yggdrasil, like of sorts. It's like this is from the Isu, the ancients, the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tech, and I was like, God, I have fucking seen this before. And went through. I was like, of course, it's a magic card. And I looked it up, and it is. I've seen the Yggdrasil magic card.
Oh, like
And I was
because they had the Assassin's Creed.
Oh, of course, I knew this card. And then I looked. I was like, I don't think I own this one. I own the full art.
Of course.
And the full art, I play through a little further, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of a story spoiler. Like. That's like if you like this glowing figure, you know what I mean?
On the card, you're saying?
On the card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's seriously, I didn't finish. I'm not done with it, but it's ending in a place where I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen in this next game? Like everything I've known from Origins forward, because, they kind of had a clear separation point of here's Desmond hopping in the Animus doing all the shit. And I didn't do Syndicate, so I don't really know everything. But I played Origins forward, and this one was like, here's her name's Layla Hassan. Here's a new character. She's Magic Card 2. Here's this. Here's Basim. Here's the characters you're playing. And then there's like a proper betrayal moment that I didn't see coming. And there's deaths, and there's like everything that I tried to complete in Odyssey. I did. Mm-hmm. It was almost for nothing.
Oh, shit.
And like oh, wow, that's a fucking consequence that just happened. That's like crazy. And then they twist a way to get me back into the Animus so I can keep playing Valhalla.
Yeah.
And I was like, something doesn't seem right. And the reason you're in the Animus, of course, as Layla, is to learn the history. Where did this thing get buried and follow timelines? Mm-hmm. The person that steps into the Animus this time around is not there for that at all. And I'm like, me playing this game is like achieving the villain's goal. And I'm like, this is fucked. Like,
that's cool.
There's like a higher level thing. I was like, for the person who doesn't care, it's just playing Valhalla more. You don't have to worry about the Animus. But for me, I don't care. But I know enough that I just happen to care. I've put the hours in. I listen to the cutscenes. I mean, they read fairly slow and they subtitle everything, so I'll just read it, hit the skip button, read the next dialogue, hit the skip button, and then watch the actual cinematics.
Yeah.
But I read and listen to everything. Unless it's like a note I pick up. I don't read every one of those. Sometimes they lead you to treasure, so I do.
Just got to give it a quick scan.
I just give it okay. This is just lore. But it has like major implications. And I'm like, I care so much more for Shadows now. And also, it unfortunately ties into Mirage. And I'm like, I think I need to play Mirage now.
Oh, man.
I started it.
Well, how is that a bigger one or that's a smaller one, right?
Itty bitty. It was supposed to be tied in to Valhalla. That's how connected it is. And I'm like, I see the connection. I had already seen the connection, but I don't know. I'm like more curious now about Mirage for its out of Animus stuff, if it even exists. I don't know.
Well, good news is they delayed Shadow, so you have time to fit in Mirage now that you're finishing up.
I know. Well, I was like, I'll play Syndicate because I was I know I'm going to skip Mirage. Syndicate was just backlog shit. It wasn't for anything. It was like, just people say it's good. And I'm like, I have to finish Mirage, like actually. But I am off the charts in power in this game. That things still take lots of hits. They almost scale like an MMO, but it's like I don't have to worry about dying much. The only deaths I've had recently were like miss a jump into the abyss.
I was gonna say, yeah, like
oh, whoops.
Yeah.
not I'm
the
fighting
Shadow
somebody
Realm
and I die.
deaths that are like actual fights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the,
And then you're just like get
which
off
even
on
then
the cliff.
now, nothing like actual fall damage can't kill me. So I can be on the top of a caw, and I just like, oh, it's pointing this way, and I jump. Turns out the hay bale's that way. I should have looked, but I just, and the whole screen starts like, whoa, fuck, and I just land, and it brings my health bar to like half. And I have, of course, a special perk that you gain health back. You don't naturally gain health back in that game.
Oh, okay.
But I'm wearing something special that does it. I'm just like, I'm fine.
Yeah, we good.
But like, they actually have your power level is directly tied to your skills. I have probably like 440 now, and each one of those points is a skill in a skill tree. So it's a fucking net.
Yeah.
A 440 point skill tree. This final area's power level is 280.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm past.
Yeah,
I've gone far enough. So to kind of celebrate in a way of like, at this point, I'm going to have to just start sweeping the map and collecting everything, which is a chore.
That's going to be a lot.
I was like, let me just go in and buy a set of armor that I really like from the shop. So I spent $15 and, so annoying, dude. They give you 400 credits to start in the game. Like, just here's the currency. You can buy any weapon in the shop, which in this game, weapons don't drop like loot. You have to go find them in chests, and there's a static amount of armor and weapons in the game. That's it.
Oh, wow.
And then you upgrade them, and that's it. There's 10 different pairs of boots, period.
You don't find like 8 of the same sword. And
In Odyssey,
14 or 15
you did.
or,
And they had different perks and different traits and whatever. And they were like exotic legendaries and stuff that you couldn't break down. These ones, there's no breaking down in this game at all. There's no salvaging because there's only 10 boots in the whole game. But in the store, in the shop, all of the things, none of them are skins. They are all functional items.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, except for mounts. Mounts and things like, those don't offer function. They are aesthetic, but every piece of armor, every piece of gear is a functional difference. So they're like, here's enough to buy any weapon so you can functionally get what you want. And then when you buy $10 worth, they give you 1,050.
Okay.
So I have 1,450. It's 1,500 for a pack of armor.
Oh.
And I'm like, you fuckers.
Yeah, there's no way
So
to
then
get
I was like,
50.
all right, I'll do $15.
Yeah.
And now I've got another floating 600 credits. I'm like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
So it was, I'm like, I see you, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I see you, you bastards. But there is a way to earn the stuff in the game, but it's on a weekly rotator across everything that's in the whole store. So it's, it's not actually possible.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to play this game for 6 years enough to actually like get everything. But yeah, so I got something that's just like I one headshot anything. That's like
nice.
it's like my whole build is focused on headshots because aim assist. I just it's just
almost auto aim, but not
almost. It actually aims towards their body, so I do have to like go up. But of course, what do I got? I got a skill that just targets everyone's head that I can visibly see. 12 people there, just board wipe. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Kill streak.
Nice.
Everyone's gone. So it's mostly just playing for function at this point and running around the map and doing the puzzles. But I am gonna platinum it. I don't know if I'm gonna do any of the expansions before Mirage. But I'm happy that I was like, it actually stoked fires of me being like, I really care now. I really care. I really want
exciting.
Shadows to be good, and I'm so curious what they're gonna do next because it was like, who's watching? Who wants the spoilers for Valhalla? I haven't even fully finished it yet.
Right.
But the Desmond of this story, Layla, they just fucking kill her. And the whole thing in Odyssey was Cassandra's dad is Pythagoras. And he has the Staff of Hermes, which is Catechus. It's a magic card that actually CGB played.
Okay.
And it makes you like invulnerable to anything. Like you don't die. You're forever. And his whole thing is him passing it on to his, and she's like, Pythagoras, like you're way dead. You're ancient. You're hundreds of years old. And he's like, yeah, but I slept with your mom. You're my kid here. So you have Isu in you. If you hand the staff to anybody, it doesn't just work.
Right. You have to like. presented.
It's essentially you have to be an assassin because all the assassins are special people, of course, you know. And Bassem's the main character and whatever in this. But Bassem's the guy that's like teaching you how to be an assassin as Eivor. And he ends up, you get like sucked into Yggdrasil and drop the staff. And you end up swapping places and you put Bassem up there and whatever. And she comes back and she's like, oh, Bassem, there you are. Eivor put you here like 1,000 years ago or whatever. And then you end up swapping places and he lands like on the staff and it fucking rejuvenates him and he goes into the Animus to get the bleeding effect. Which, do you know the bleeding effect? It's actually a magic card too.
No.
Bleeding effect is what happens with Desmond. He's just a bro. He's just a homie. But when you go into the Animus, you learn your ancestors' skills.
Yeah.
So the more you use the skills, the more that you get it. Mm-hmm. And Bassem was like, you bested me, Eivor. You're a better assassin than I am. And so he goes into the Animus to be bleeding affected by her skills. So I am Bassem, the villain, the assassin villain, who just fucking killed off a main character with the Staff of Hermes. He's invulnerable. He's from ancient Baghdad. He's back in the Animus in sweatpants and a fucking sweatshirt looking at computers like, how's this shit work?
Weird.
And he's in there to be like, all right, bleeding effect time. I will become the best assassin in the world. And I'm like, and fucking then what?
And then, then what?
This is crazy. Like, what's his goal? His whole goal is to like reanimate his dead family. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to do what you want it to do, bro.
Yeah, it's
like,
probably not.
How is this tie into Shadows? Like, oh my God. So she's not dead. She's permanently stuck in Yggdrasil the same way he was.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's almost like being mentally leeched by the Isu. And what's crazy though?
Oh yeah, none of this has been crazy so
What's
far.
crazy
so
though?
yeah.
You're in Yggdrasil, right? And there's this glowing person that's like, I've been trying to find the permutations of like the multiverse sort of thing.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
Here's all the paths we could go down. And but it all branches from this moment of you here in Yggdrasil, and I don't know where we go from here. And she's like, what if we go back further? What if we look at those branches? And we might resurrect Desmond, who's also dead. And I'm like, dude, we might be getting all these old characters back. We might be having new people in the Animus. Might be multiple people in the... Dude, I don't even know.
Wow.
I think that might be how we get the two assassins, is we're going to be like, it's Layla back from Yggdrasil. It's Desmond resurrected going into the Animus together.
And
So
that's
I don't
how
know.
we're getting the two
I
in
don't
chat.
know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I haven't looked up anything about it yet, but I'm seriously sitting like, she's like, you want to go to bed? I'm like, I can't. I go to bed.
I gotta
right
think about it.
now. Layla's dead. What am I supposed to do?
She's like, you want to go to bed? Oh, not yet. She looks over. Well, I had this idea. Red's yarn all over the wall.
Yeah, I'm like-
just that quick.
It all comes back to Shadows. This is why they had to delay it.
February, second month.
Second
two.
month,
There's two
people,
of them.
two people, romance, love, Desmond and Layla. We're gonna have a baby.
Village, I say.
The new
Oh my God.
protagonist. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really excited though. So
That's cool. Well, I was never able to remember what I needed to talk about, but I'm sure
so
it'll
sorry.
happen as soon as the show ends. But that's all right. If it's that important, we'll wait till next week.
well, good thing is we talk offline too.
We
so.
do. And but I've got nothing else today. Do you have anything else?
I've got nothing else.
Cool. With nothing else, then we'll sign off as we always do and say sweet dreams, and we'll see you for breakfast.
I'm gonna make sure the mouse works first.